My friends, welcome to the hardcore Minecraft world, where we have a shulker monster yet again here sitting underneath. But right behind me, we got our starter house, which is looking very good. We are currently on day 7,000. I keep saying 3,000. 7,390. So we've been in this world for quite a while. The total played time on this, if we go all the way down here, current time played is 63.11 days. We are almost at a full stack of IRL days of played time in this world, which is pretty nuts. And right here to start off the tour, we've got the starter house, we've got the base, we've got the OG spot, fWhip's home. This thing has never been fully remodeled, but we've done some redoing throughout the time of a lot of stuff. This, especially out here, is the shulker monster that keeps on giving and growing, and then we keep going back and emptying and clearing and coming back and rinse and repeating. But inside we've got a little storage, or right here I've just got a little copper laying out because I was doing some building with it recently, so we can drop that up there. But this was kind of the starter storage room. I used the kitchen as still a lot of like excess storage for extra elytras and things like that. And we have a bunch of ores and stuff over here. Then my actual storage room that I kind of used to have double chests to all the way around here and everything. But I've slowly been clearing them out to open up the space. And we got barrels. Ignore the one full of shulkers of snow, but just a bunch of random stuff. Oh, there's all my sponges. And yeah, there's in there. We even crammed some storage underneath here with wither skeleton skulls, so many nautilus shells, all of our sherds, and a lot more snow and everything like that. This takes ourselves up here into the bedroom. This is my own bedroom where I fly back in here. I still use this bed quite often. And then I just open up here, jump out, and then we go fly off the direction that we need to. So the balcony actually served a purpose. Over on this side, we just have a little sitting room. And down over this way, we've got ourselves the enchanting tower. This is still the only enchanting setup I have in this world. So anytime I need to do enchanting, we actually head right back over here and check this thing out. So we've got that all set up. It's looking pretty good. I thought I had hid something down there, but I guess I either got rid of it or I never did. But that's okay. Bet you get to 7,400 days during the world tour? Probably. Up here, we've got a random jukebox because, of course, you have one in the attic. And then a lot of the skulk stuff that I got when we first went out there. We got efficiency 5 book in here, and we have a ton of enchanted hose. So if I ever need more netherite hose, like that. Why am I just sitting on a silk touch efficiency 5 unbreaking 3 mending hoe just sitting in my attic right there with the skeleton skull? You know what? We'll just put that on the ground. That's much better, obviously. And we'll quickly sleep away the night. Have you considered doing a stream where you just build a house and explain what you're doing? It'd be fun to learn. Yeah, we could try and do some stuff. I want to do more creative streams in the future of designing out the different harbor areas and everything like that. So we'll probably do more things like that coming soon. But yeah. So yeah, this is the starter base, and I figured we have roads leading everywhere. That's kind of been my goal in this world, is that leads down into the cave where the nether portal is. That road will, or throughout here. I guess we can look at the rest of the little starter compound. We've got the smithy where I come in here. I'm storing some diamond ore for no reason. And then we've got our netherite excess stuff in here. Blast furnaces, smithing tables, and everything. So I make all my netherite tools in here. Got a little well right out in the middle. And then my horse is not currently here, so we'll have to find them. We've got the burb tree where there's probably like 20 parrots sitting up in that thing. We've got a little house area up there, and then we've got what was originally my animal pen, and then I remembered that sheep need grass in order to regrow their wool, so we quickly moved them out of there. And the cows have their own paddock in the back because I needed more space to get all the steak. They've been chilling happy days there forever. Since then, right in here, we've got our little... Oh, I didn't even fill it out to the back. I think a chicken could just walk. No, a chicken couldn't get out there. Okay, that's fine.
Pleased to meet you.
But here we have a little egg farm. So I've got it hooked up to a hopper underneath, which is very full. And I think if we take some of these, I mostly just want to see if the chickens will stay in here, because I love the idea of having a few chickens just running around. So maybe it looks like he's staying. Let's see. How many chickens can we get out here with these stacks of eggs? Juliet, thank you so much for the 3 months. Lucas, thank you so much for becoming a member. I do appreciate that. Maybe we get any chickens. Can you put shaders on? It'll get really laggy and framey if I put shaders on. So not for this. I think shaders take away from builds. They tend to. Oh, the chickens are definitely gonna slip out when they're babies. It's fine. I find that shaders actually make builds, like, you lose a lot of detail. So for y'all to actually be able to enjoy what we're seeing here, I'm thinking no shaders. Now, out the back here, this actually we did last year on my birthday, was we built a little birthday celebration, which I think is kind of nice. It's a lot of hanging signs. We've got the little house up here above the smithy with fully decorated out interior. There's just kind of nice little table, chairs, bedroom up here on top, and just a nice little place for somebody to live. And then off of this direction, this is a very short road, so we can check it out for now. But we've got a torchflower field, and we've got a pitcher pod field. We've got a big old custom oak tree. We have the giant world tree, which we'll check in on a little bit more later and get some better views of it. But decided giant world tree was a fun thing to do. Over here, we have a little house that is for the dogs, Geo and Sky. So they've got their own little home in here where they can sleep and everything like that. They've just been living out here on the rock, looking out. Oh! Ah! You just shot my dog! I'm so sorry, but yeah, Geo, you just lay down it. Yeah, you need to have a pork chop. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, buddy. Oh, that's terrible. We have to move that skeleton. We have to move that skeleton. Lucas, thank you so much for becoming a member. Juliet, thank you so much for the 3 months. I think I already got you, but thank you so much again. And then, yeah, so we've recently come back through and cleared out all the snow that was under the World Tree Mountain and replaced that with a bunch of grass, or coarse dirt and regular dirt, and then some tall grass in the light patches that are coming through the canopy of the tree, which I love so much. Down this way, past the killer skeleton, we've got just more farmland fields and everything. Over in this point, it's just a little decorative spot with a wheat field and another farmhouse that does have the most basic of basic interiors in it. Apparently, I actually did one. Good for me. Good job, me. We've got a wheat field here. We've got a little allium field right down there. I retextured alliums in my world to look more like... We fix now. I wanted alliums to look more like a... What would this be? Like a heather plant, almost? And I really love this texture instead. Alliums, they look fine, but I wanted something a little bit more full. They're just a little too tiny. So, yeah. We also, out of the World Tree Mountain, have a water stream, like a waterfall section coming down that streams all the way down here into this pond, where we have Turtle Cave to currently ignore. I have a plan for the Turtle Cave now. I have a plan for what to do with the Turtle Cave. And it's... yeah, we're gonna deal with that later. Yeah, so that's where this road currently ends to right now. We'll check on everything over there once we get around, but we're going entirely today. We're doing it all on foot for as much as we possibly can. Just let me do a little fix there. A lot of the wheat and everything that we have around, a lot of the fields are actually used for... Not only do I plant a field in every single episode, but it's also how I spawn proof a lot of darker areas because mobs can't spawn on farmland. So it's a good way to kind of catch everything. Excuse me, skeleton. Just gonna walk on by. Yeah, we're gonna be horsing around soon, don't you worry. So that direction leads off to a bunch of stuff, but we're not going to go there right now, as over here, I believe I know where my horse is. First off, we can take a right back at the starter house. This leads us out to the lumber storage room. A rule I have in this world is that I can't build a massive storage room. I don't want to build a massive storage room. I just want to exist throughout the world. So we've got a little detail here for like a pigeon, like a messenger pigeon to be able to roost in. Just for fun. It's the only one I have in the world, so it really doesn't make much logical sense, but it's there, and we just need to add more throughout the world. But yeah, anyways, storage rooms. I want to keep exploring the world. I don't want to just live in one cave and then go out and do things and come back to the cave. So I've spread the storage rooms that I have throughout the world. Like in here, we have this giant place where there used to be auto sorters. They're broken currently. But we have all the different types of logs displayed in there. And then over here, we have all of the different plank varieties and everything that you can craft from them. And then our 2 newest woods that got added. Unfortunately, I couldn't expand this because we're at max capacity. So I had to hide bamboo and cherry right over here. But I tried making this look like a lumber mill. This was a shulker box unloader that would take all the logs, sort them through there, and then dump everything else out into this row of barrels here. But it's broken. It's broken. So yeah, we don't use it. I sorted it all myself still. This thing's like 7,000 days old probably. But right here we have a little lumber mill section. We have a mountain stream coming down here, which is powering a big copper wheel. A lot of mechanical stuff exists in the world because we have a medieval fantasy theme. So we have dwarves who are actually living underneath this mountain, and they have a lot of technologies to build gears and everything like that. So they share that with the humans living up above to help build their machines and make them be more efficient and everything like that. So we've got a lot of mechanical elements throughout the world that are all made out of coppers and deep slates and stuff, as if it's like dwarven technology brought up. But I thought next to the lumber mill, it'd be cool to have an area where they're doing some logging and chopping down trees. So we have a bunch of stumps here, and then they have some younger trees that are growing up. I am thinking about reworking this area into something that makes a little bit more sense, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But what y'all could get around to, click the like button. Ah, got him. Nailed it. Ha.
Pleased to meet you.
Over this way, we have a left and a right. Currently, we're going to take the right, and then we'll come back there. That's actually what we built on episode 2. That's my mine, but we'll check that in a minute. Right over here, we have our sugarcane farm. It is very, very bad. I really need a new one. So we've just got a sugarcane farm in here. They all have their own little storage systems, and I need to probably double the size of this thing because I don't hang out in this area that much anymore. So it doesn't stock up too much. It's barely enough to supply to keep myself with enough rockets to fly around the world. So it's lacking. But we did do an interior on it finally. So we have that. A lot of this forest throughout here I would like to redo and retexture and kind of build into some more custom oak trees and everything like that. But I'm thinking that'll be a bigger terraform project when we get up to the mountain and redoing all that stuff. Got a little like stream coming through that's washed out the road, and that goes down this way and all the way out to a big river down that way. But what we have over here was episode 3. I decided to build a castle because why not? We have a giant castle. And what we have repurposed this castle for since then is as the map room of this world, which is pretty fun. And on the way up here, we have a few graves of people who have died in their hardcore worlds. That just some friends of mine who I was like, yeah, it'd be kind of funny to put their names down here as graves of when they lost their own hardcore worlds and everything like that to see who we have outlasted. I'm definitely way behind on adding those. There's a lot more we could add in, and I just kind of haven't kept up with it, but that's okay. Over in this way, though, we've got ourselves into the castle, which is, I like this. I like the castle a lot. It's a great interior. Look at this fantastic interior. No. Where the interior really takes us is if you leave the castle, go through the big cave, and then walk into the map hall, we have this like magical element underneath with these layers of magenta glass, and we have all of the maps. So this is episode 3 right here, which you can see my starter base and the mine, and before the castle was even built. And that's where the World Tree Mountain is. That's where the City of Path started. And you'll see this all develop as we're going. We're episode 12. You can now see a lot more stuff in here coming along. And then over here, we have episode 15, which already is a lot more stuff. You can see the tree in here. That's why I wanted to do it for this episode, was that's where I built the tree. You can see some stuff. This is world spawn over there, which we'll get to soon. I just felt like we should start in the starter house instead of world spawn. Then you can see even more roads and everything connected up. A big rule I have is if I build something in this world and it possibly can be connected, we are going to connect it. So at episode 25 is where the City of Path actually was started and built up to the first few stages of that there. And you can see over there our first custom mountain, the custom birch forest, and a lot of those things coming in. Here in the middle of the map hall, we currently are going down 4 different passageways. Well, realistically, we're going down 1 right now. Then on the corners, we have 4 different aquariums that all have tropical fish inside them. We have different colors of coral in there to mark out the different ones. Up above, we have a large fish tank full of guardians. So we put a bunch of guardians up here just for fun. Played around with the idea of putting an elder guardian in, but I didn't want mining fatigue every time I walked in here, so we just have regular guardians that are chilling up there in their own tank. And then down below, you can barely see them, but we have glow squids all the way down there that you can kind of see some. Like there's one like right down in there that you can see as they're fading in out. So they have a dark glow squid tank down underneath too, which is really, really cool. More maps, though. We have episode 32, so you can see more of the city expansion, the quarry built out where we have our stone storage room. We have more terraforming and stuff over there. You see more roads being developed, all that kind of moving off in these different directions, and it's really cool. Episode 37, you can see that we enlarged the map again. So this is the current maximum size that I have the map, as we built a new castle down there to kind of guard the river regions. We built a new village all the way out here for the flower forest biome. So all those little houses are flower farms. And then you can see a lot more parts of the city and everything like that developing. We have a little Stonehenge type building here. There's a pillager outpost. There's a custom mountain. And we're going to be exploring all these things in game too. I'm just kind of giving context of where the maps have changed. So you can see here's another one. There's another episode 53. I did 40 and then 53 because I forgot on 50 and then was like, oh my gosh, I need to do this thing. And then here where we're still working on the map haul, we have episode 60 right there, which is insane to see all of the fields coming in. And then here we have episode 70, which is the latest map. This is the most recent one of I did this map update last week before I finished the episode. So we will see on the world tour today a few more spoilers, maybe of stuff happening around in the harbor region. That's the biggest change throughout here, the massive terraforming project that we've been working on. And yeah, it's looking really good. You see the pillager outpost turned into a castle, and I'm having a lot of fun. This has been a lot of fun to work with and everything like that. So we're gonna wander on out of here. And who am I missing? Lucas, thank you so much for becoming a member. Sin Logico, thank you so much for becoming a member. And Dark Shadow, thank you so much for the 5 gift members, my dude. I really appreciate that. Let's do a quick sleepy sleep. If y'all got the gift members, that does mean you can get the world download if you join the Discord. So you can check that out, get all linked up in there and all that stuff, and you can actually get the world download just for a gift membership. So hanging out in the streams, the longer time you're there, the higher chance you have of getting a gift member. So good days for y'all. Out this way, we have the bridge leading across the valley. I didn't do these beacons on episode 3 to light it. I came back and did those later. I will admit that was just purely for the flex element. Currently leading into this building, which has nothing. You can just see the wall in there. We got to come back and finish this soon. But I thought it'd be a cool visual from up here just to see everything. So we have our sugarcane farm and all that, and then this river I carved out leading all the way out there. By the way, this whole castle and everything we built, I think I barely had enchanted diamond gear at this point. We definitely had not went to the end. So this massive bridge being that high above the ground was rough. I do remember I did not have silk touch when I was carving this out. So I was being very careful about what logs or what stone blocks I broke, because I had to go back and smelt stone to put it back, and that was very, very painful. I wish the maps did the beauty of the world justice. Yeah, it's cool to visualize it, and then you can see it in game. So now y'all have a little bit more context about where we were and how we're getting around. And so then when we're moving like this, you at least get a little bit more context where everything is. So, leaving the castle now, we can head down this way and visit the Dwarven village, which is my villager trading village. It's not really a villager trading hall. We got to put our elytra on for this one. We did update the entrance from a tiny little cave that I would constantly bonk my head trying to fly through, to now we have this with a little bit more of a grand entrance. Still wanted to keep the flyability to swoop in and out of here. So we have that, and we have a little pond that's kind of going down, because this was my original way actually to get in and out of this village, was I would take this water stream here up and down every single time I came down to trade with my villagers. So we just came in here, and it was so goofy. So I wanted to make sure that I did not change that. I used to use this every time to get down here. And here we are. Let's this is one of my favorite builds in the world, just for pure nostalgia's sake. I love how this one has turned out and how everything in here. So we can run over this way. I was able to find 4 amethyst geodes.
Pleased to meet you.
So we have those all hooked up on a minecart rail that connects, and so I use those to farm amethyst when I need to. And I made this look like the dwarves are basically like extracting the amethyst from a massive geode over there and like hauling it back into this side. We've got our only nether wart field in the entire world right over there. And then I wanted water to be a big element down in the cave. 1, for spawn proofing, because you don't have to deal with that. And then 2, I just think this like seaside, almost seaside-ish underground dwarven village is just, it's just such a vibe. I really love how this has turned out. It's been so fun to work on. We haven't built anything down here for a while. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of buckets. There's probably so many goodies hidden in these barrels that I don't even know about. There's got to be so much. I guess not. I guess most of them are empty. Anyways, inside of here, we have an aquarium in the floor. And we have all of our fishermen villagers who are also opening their barrels. And these guys, a lot of them trade campfires. This is the only reason that I bother with fishermen villagers, is we can get a campfire for 1 emerald. I guess you can also trade boats for emeralds, and you can trade these things. You can get decent fishing rods, but campfires for 1 emerald for building? Yes, please. So we do those a lot. This building goes to nowhere currently. This building also goes to nowhere currently. There is a slime. There's a slime somewhere here. We're just gonna ignore him and hope he doesn't kill us. Huh. I think I know where he is. Anyways, up this staircase right here, this building does have something. You see what the ender chest outside kind of marks it a little bit better. Hi, buddy. It has a slime inside. I didn't realize this was a slime chunk. Where is this? How is this a slime chunk? Huh. Well, 27 slime balls for me. But back in here, we really got to detail this a little bit more for the inside of it's a foundry. And we have a giant super smelter in here, which is insanely fast. You dump everything you want to smelt into there. You dump all the fuel you want into here. And then it'll start just throwing items at you and fill up that chest. I need to extend this up more and add more storage in there. And then we can put more double chests on top of this guy stacked up. Like, that could be a great way to speed this up. It is 64 furnaces, so it smelts ridiculously fast. It is very, very good. And moving on to one that I also would love to upgrade soon and expand. This brick building right up here is where we have our cleric villagers who all trade redstones. We can get redstone for emeralds, which is very nice, but we don't have too many in here, so I can only get like 2 stacks right now. So I do that when I need like a little quick fix of redstone every now and then. This building here was the first one that we made, I believe, as it has the villager breeder inside. Currently turned off because we don't need any more of them, but basically take those beds, lay them out in there. And these 2 villagers are in here just farming crops. They'll see the beds over there. They will do their thing. Yep. And trade their crops around. And a baby will come out and be like, I'm going to go jump in the bed. And they'll run down here and fall down the chute. And then they go on their happy little journey to become lovely citizens of where we can stop them here, put a workbench down, come over here. They meet undead sausage. And then they come up here to be turned into lovely members of society, to where they're all going to hang out at this point. And we can use golden apples and splash them with weakness potions and convert them and get super cheap trades. This over here allows me to send them all to different levels. So we have a whole minecart system behind, so I can move villagers into every single one of the trading buildings that we have. So it's fun. I really like this system. It was a really fun one to build. Look at all that extra junk in there. Now, the villager trading hall in here that has the most villagers is this one, this little deep slate building. We have a whole row of stonemasons here because I wanted to buy a bunch of bricks. And then I was looking for specific terracotta trades. So I started opening and building rows upon rows of stonemason villagers here in the back that are all trading different types of terracottas and everything. And we can also just, I can forever buy bricks and all that out here. It's great. It's so good. That's just another way to get in there. We have a lot of details out here, just like hanging amethyst to get a little glowing elements and everything. This building in here, the not deep slate, dark oak with our little soul fire and everything. If it didn't make sense, this is our farmers. I don't really trade with them anymore because they used to be for golden carrots, but now I have a hoglin farm, so I just mostly do pork chops. Over on this side, though, we've just got like a little smelting area, just kind of going with that machinery aspect for the dwarves. You can see a lot of gears throughout the place, a lot more smelting things, and just kind of piping and whatnot all over. This was all built back in 1.18, so we didn't have mud, and we didn't have all the new tuff and everything like that. So we were working with everything that we could at the time. This building, however, is a very, very important one. We have all of our librarian villagers. And then over here we have all of our cartographer villagers. So that this was the first way I was able to generate emeralds. On the guys who are marked with the chiseled stone brick, they all sell glass, and these dudes are traded and converted twice over. I don't think you can really get it this way anymore, but they all trade glass panes for emeralds.
What are your current hopes for the next update? Mine personally is linking mine carts or storage carts for mules, a mid-game way for mass item transferring.
That would be kind of cool. That would be really fun. ODST, thank you so much for the dono. I appreciate it. But yeah, last thing on that room is that was the way that I built up emeralds. So you could glass to glass panes to emeralds, and you would actually make a positive. So it worked out really well. TK Andrew, thank you so much for the 16 months as well. Grog, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. And ODST, thank you so much for the dono. Next update, I feel like I would really like, yeah, storage I think would be huge, but I think I'd also really like the end of more stuff to do out there and more things in there. That's definitely like my biggest wish list, but also some way to be able to move. Like mid-game item stuff I think would be great, but what we also really, really need is end-game item stuff. So, is what it is. Over in this way, we have at the top here the giant forge. We have the room with all of our armor smiths, toolsmiths, and no weaponsmiths. I guess just toolsmiths because I wanted to be able to buy a bunch of diamond pickaxes and shovels and everything. Did this before I upgraded a bunch of netherite tools, so I didn't even have to get the diamonds to build them. I just needed the netherite. It was great. And that is the entire Dwarven trading village down here, which is lovely. I really like how this has turned out. I think it's really, really cool. Just a little glimpse over here into the amethyst mines and everything. We've got one here. We actually have another right behind it. They were connected to each other, which was crazy. So we dug those out, and we got a minecart track that can take you to 2 others. But this has been really, really fun to build. I love the glow squid spawning down here. We've got the whole netherwart cave over there and everything like that, which is just, it's just a fun vibe down here. It's something I want to come back and expand on some more, like continue with a newer Dwarven style, because I think my style's changed a good amount. But that's all hidden down in there, which is fun. Now, back above ground, let's just go down here real quick, where, you guessed it, more fields. Over this way, we have our first 2 sniffers. Put those guys right in there. And then over here, we've got just another field. And this is the sweetberry vineyard. So we got a big old field of sweetberries, which I really, really love. It's super fun. And just kind of moves throughout this whole place. And you can hear some clicking going on there. This is a full sweetberry farm. Fully automatic. We have 2 foxes down here. 3 foxes down here that produce more sweetberries than I could ever need. We are way overflowing on this. That it's kind of a lot. I need to figure out a way to turn it off. I need to like lure them out of there. Jason, thank you so much for the 5 gift members, though. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, we need to get the foxes out of here so they stop producing sweetberries, because they're just, they produce them, they go up in the elevator, and then they go directly into the fire currently because the farm's full. Would you like to add another sweetberry vineyard for where the brewery is? I think the sweetberry vineyard to me is more like wine production, whereas the brewery is more ales and spirits and type. But yeah, I need to come back and actually decorate the interior of this one. We've got Snoozle right here, and then they had a friend. Oh, there's their friend. M is up there. So these 2 extra foxes are hanging. And then we don't really have too much interior space because we kind of turned it into a farm. Yeah, you can see all the berries going through right there that they're harvesting just straight into the fire. So the glowberries don't grow. You can shear glowberries and stop them from growing farther. Right, back up this way. Goes straight towards the starter base again. And to kind of reconnect ourselves here to give you a point of reference, starter base is right up there. Here's that mine that I was talking about. This was an invention that I had early on in the series that I'm still proud of. I still think I did a great job here. So we have a bunch of double chests in here. They're all doing great. And then we have a bunch of blast furnaces here to smelt all of our minerals down. This minecart, though, will take you down. And in the Minecraft 1.18 update, when we started this world, that was when the new caves and cliffs like officially came in. So you can see we stop here at this minecart level, and we have a little system here where I can unload all of my goodies that I had been mining and gathering, so I can stay down here for longer before my inventory fills up. They all go into a water stream that goes all the way up to the surface, connects into those 9 double chests in that storage room. And what we have at every single level here in this is we have a different level that is the optimal point to mine ores at for whatever different types of ores. You can go check them out. I think the top one up there is copper, this one is iron, or that's reversed. And then we head on down into the deep slate layers, where this right here is the best level to mine for gold. And then we go down again further down to the bottom to stop out where the best layer to mine is diamonds, right down in here. So I've kind of cleared out a bunch of this, and I have one of those item elevators set up at every single level. I had to move this one up because we had that good old bedrock below it and couldn't really get rid of that at the time. So that all goes up there, and that's where I've been doing all of my mining the entire time throughout. So we're chilling, we're getting up there. Toto, thank you so much for the tier 1. I do appreciate that. Thank you so very much. My friends over on YouTube, we got 800 people in here and 600 likes. So if you haven't clicked the like button yet, please, please, please be sure to click the like button. I very much do appreciate it. Lag. Glowberries. Glowberries can grow regardless of light level. Yeah. Sweet berries do need a certain light level in order to grow, though. So there's that. Okay, back up at the starter base. Which way should we go now? We could go... Let's go down this way. Let's go through the quarry up into the city, because I know where my horse is. So we can check that out, loop out of that way. We can go through that way, loop all the way over there, come back, go out that way, and then continue on to the rest of the world that way. Okay, perfect. I've got the plan. We'll hit up everything in the overworld, and then we'll come back and do the nether in the end to wrap things up. I'm trying to think of the best way to go through all this. Podzol never spreads, no. Unless it's grown through a spruce tree, Podzol will never spread. But Podzol, if you grow a spruce tree on top of moss, it will convert the moss into Podzol. Yeah, that's true. All right. Moving on with the tour. We had the mine up there, and down in here, we've got ourselves the massive quarry. Woo! Yay, big old quarry. Isn't it cool? The whole purpose for this quarry was to dig it all out and have a place to store all of my stone. And I wanted to make it look like a giant quarry that is supplying the city over there with stone so that they can craft everything. So this big old building that we have kind of tucked into the side of the mountain was so that I could build a big old storage room in here for stones, cobblestones, deep slates, nether and end goodies. We have tuff and dripstone. We have our andesite, diorite, and calcite. And we have our brick, granite, and terracottas in there. It's a massive room that is so nice to have, and I'm really happy I did it. Up here we've got a little stall of sorts where we have some mules hanging out and doing their thing and just kind of in here to work in the quarry and move the carts around and everything. We have a little way that you can take a ladder to climb out up there for when I did not have an elytra. Was super great to get up and down. Actually, I think this was post elytra. I think I lied, but we use that every once in a while. Rarely. Maybe. And then I have a bunch of places that look like they're still actively mining and quarrying out the stone and clearing things. And then we have cranes to move stuff around and just big old like tents and everything like that. Just trying to make it look like the area is actively being worked in, which I thought was pretty fun. Open the chest. Need to know how much you have. I'll give you an idea. I'll open the stone chests and I'll give you an idea. Did you use mods? The only mods I have are for vanilla, like, performance. We've got... all of those shulkers are full of stone. we've got a decent amount of stuff. We got a decent amount of stuff. Now, with the quarry being something to supply the city, I felt that we needed an access point into the city through the quarry. Didn't need to be something too big because we didn't want to have the city guard being super worried about having to man a second entry point into the city from this side. So we have a small little gatehouse here, a very, very narrow entry point that not too many people would be able to come through at once. And it's a little bit of a death trap if there's guards up there and you're kind of stuck down here. You don't really have anywhere to hide. So we enter into the city back here. We are currently in the industrial district of the city. We've got some carts stored over there just to keep them dry. We got a big old tree. This building is going to be a bakery. I know, very, very industrial. But the reason is, up top, we have a cocoa bean farm hidden in there. So if I ever need brown dye, I've got that ready to go. We'll stick down here, and then we'll start working our way up there. This building here is the copper factory. And I wanted to kind of tell a story with the copper factory of how things go together. So in here, we have the raw copper coming in through a cart. This goes up here, gets unloaded onto a conveyor belt. Conveyor belt goes this way, gets smashied. Copper then gets put onto here, onto another belt when it's in its raw copper form. That gets sent all the way over here and is loaded into a cart that is just piles of our raw copper blocks. The upstairs doesn't really have any decoration to it, so there's no point in going up there. That copper then moves out here, comes back to this side where you can see we have piles of raw copper waiting to go. And we have a bunch of big old furnaces out here for smelting all of the copper down, doing its cool stuff and everything. And those are in here, and we've got like some storage silos and stuff, and just piles of copper waiting to be smelted right up here against the mountain, basically taking up all the space that they could use. Then that stuff comes all the way back out here when it's into its cut copper forms and everything, and that is taken out to the city and sold to where it needs to go. So somehow that's all like loaded and unloaded into here. Now the functionality behind this space is right down this way, down the spooky stone brick staircase. To here, where we have a giant copper aging facility that looks like I need to refill up some of it, where we can age down 4 stacks of copper at a time, and basically you put them all on top of the lights or below the lights based off of there, and they're perfectly 4 blocks of air apart from each of them, which allows them to age at the fastest capability without just filling the entire space with stacks and stacks of that copper, which then will actually make it age faster. But this works great for something to set it and forget it type environment, so it's really, really nice. Definitely need to refill that, but I haven't really bothered since we cleared the trial chamber of all the copper. We have so much oxidized copper that it doesn't really matter too much anymore, or well, for right now. Out this way, I really love the copper factory. It's super, super cool. Headed off to the street this side, we've got a big old tree. We've got a big old storefront. We need to come back through and do interiors in a lot of these. We can hook it to this side, to the right, take ourselves around. This little building here is a hanging root and a glowberry farm, so we can just get a bunch of those as we need throughout. And it's just a nice little decorated place. The farms are super, super simple ones here in the back. And then over here is just like a little sleeping quarter. But this building itself is actually a watermill that's just kind of here on this little canal that they dug out, a little waterway for when there's snow melt and everything for the water to not flood the city. It has its own canal to take it there. Not super realistic at the current water level it's at, but I like it. I think it looks good. Gonna do a quick sleepy. How have you survived in this world in real life days? We looked at the beginning of stream. We're at 63.11 IRL days. Okay, so moving on here. We're in kind of the back alley place. That's that storefront right there. This is just kind of a small house crammed in the corner. We've got a little work yard out here that's kind of fun, just making it look like people are living in the environment, not just a bunch of houses. I love the idea of giving little backyard gardens and things. So we've been doing that a lot. We have a little carrot and potato garden right in there. This archway leads us back out to the front where we have somebody selling fresh cocoa beans. This building right here is supposed to be an inn. We haven't done the interior yet for it, but yeah, I want to have it be like a big old inn, something super cool in there. building we're looking at right in front of us is a guard barracks. It is attached directly into the city wall for this side, which we'll go and check out soonish. We got to work our way around here. Just some fun banners going across for some extra color. And we have a bridge that crosses over that waterway, and there's that little back alley section that we were in, where we also have that same back, like, just dirt pathway vibe here, some gardens and everything like that, just some trees. I really want the city to feel super green and lush and full of life, so I've been working really hard to incorporate a lot of greenery into it, because I don't want it just to be like a stone metropolis and where everything's kind of bland and boring. I want there to be a lot of lushness and life to it. This building right here is going to be a blacksmith. We just need to actually do the blacksmithing forge and interior part to it. But over here, this was like going to be a big old workshop, and I decided to just kind of seal up the door. And they have their own little workshop out here for some carpenter of some sort who's maybe making a boat or something like that. Away up to a small apartment building right in here that a zombie broke my doors. How rude. It broke this door too. Oh, awful. Lost my doors. Over here, we've got a fish and chips stand, so you can get your fishies, your little fishy snacks. You can get your chips, and you're all set. And then this building right here is just another shop front, storefront. I've been wanting to come back here and dig like a cave back into there and do like a little storage room or something inside. I thought could be pretty cool. This is supposed to be dirt. It grass overgrew there, so we'll fix that soonish. A bunch more trees leading up this way. And if we go up, 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 we have a little obelisk thing floating there. And we've got some horse stables out here. We'll get to that building in just a moment, but the horses are here as we have a big brick factory up at the top. This is mostly a decorative brick factory that I just think is really cool. I wanted to make a more realistic way to show how bricks are being created. So clay is being brought in, which we're symbolizing in here using some raw copper. A little brick showing it being cooked down. So we have big old kilns in here, and we have a little clay piled out there that's waiting to go in. We have blackstone and coal blocks in here, making it look like they're using that as fuel to keep those things running. And then out at the front over here, you can see where all of the bricks are drying, and just kind of, the bricks would need to be set out to dry so they don't crack but while they're still hot and everything like that. So we're putting those over here so that they're drying and being ready to use for everything like that. This is a little storage building over there that doesn't really have that great of an interior. We got another kiln in there. And then since pottery stuff was added, I've come back in here and redecorated this area out with a bunch of our large pots and put some of our sherds on them just for a fun little decoration. And I think it's really cool. So we've got all those things. And then the slight functionality side of this is that we actually have a clay farm on the inside right here. So you can put dirt in, turns it into mud with a little water bottle thing that puts those into there. This all gets sent out here. And then that will go over this way to where all of this is sitting. Can we kind of see it? Not really. But there's dripstone with pointed dripstone underneath it that dries out the clay. I guess we can see that right here. Yeah, so you can see all the pointed dripstone. That dries out the mud and turns it into clay. And then I can harvest that, turn it into terracotta, or break it apart into balls and turn it into everything like that. Yeah, that's the brick factory up there. Very, very fun. And then this building we will check out next. Let's follow our pathway to stick with the staying to the paths idea. Dark Shadow, thanks so much for becoming a member. I do appreciate that, my dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where this leads ourselves over to the stone storage. No, not stone storage. Dirt storage building. We got a custom tree up front, and on the inside, we've got dirt. We've got grass, symbolized with moss because I didn't want it to overgrow my dirt. We got podzol. We got everything except red sand down here. And the red sand is currently, because I got so much of it, the red sand is all stored up here because it was very, very overflowing. I couldn't make space for it. So we have a lot of red sand, which we'll talk about a little later about why we have that much of it. But yeah, this is a really, really nice place to store all of my rooted dirt. So much coarse dirt. Yep. So much podzol and mostly just a lot of dirt. It's looking pretty good though. I'm really, really happy with how this has all turned out. Down this way, is a little newly updated area. With episode 70, I kind of built this little market. Not market, but like just a little fish stand out there. Over here, we have a dried kelp farm. Well, a kelp farm that has all this, that also has a working dried kelp farm where everything underneath will funnel into here. Has it been? It's been working. Wow, look at that. Unless that's stuff that I filled myself. I'm not too sure. But anyways, for a little cheaty cam to show you where the dried kelp farm is, we go here, we got free cam, we can go right underneath us, and we have the kelp farm hidden down here. So all of the kelp, when it grows to 3 tall, activates the observer, piston pushes, that will all flow down to here, which sends it this way into a water stream that sends it into that water stream right there. That takes it down, and then we have an auto crafter now hooked up in there that will turn it into blocks and send it back around to refuel itself automatically.
Pleased to meet
and
you.
Then once the fuel sections are all full and everything like that, that will then send the extra dried kelp blocks into storage. Bro Dorbus, thank you so much for going. Remember, hey look, spoilers. Yeah, the world, this section here, I want to eventually keep expanding it over to there. Y'all, we're 56 minutes in today. We gotta, I hope y'all were ready. People are like, are we gonna build things today? Bro, if we finish this in under 3 hours, I'll be impressed. We've got a little smelting station out here. Just like, again, another work yard. Who knows what it's for, but some smeltery here. We got a bunch of wood storage. We have a little chicken coop over here with all the chickens hanging. This building was my mud farm originally, if you can turn dirt into mud, but I can never get it working properly, so I don't really use it all that much. I prefer to just go out to the mangrove swamp and just completely destroy it and get all the mud there. It's so much better. That's the rest of the building for the dirt to mud farm. Got a little carrot patch in there. Hey, look, a spoiler. I added these new crane designs. I think I showed them on the last stream, but we got those in. They're looking sweet. And then we can head back over this way. Retrace our steps just a little bit. Actually, no. We can... yeah, we've seen the guard barracks here.
Pleased to meet you.
We've seen... This is the back of the gatehouse. We'll look at it from the front on the way out when we get down there for a little spoilery section of the next video, what's coming in there. This building here, I love the colors on it. We have our mud into our mangrove into our white terracottas up top. And inside are all the double tall flower farms. So we can get those automatically, just with a little bone meal added in. This building right here we'll get to in just a minute. But behind our double tall flower farm, we have a nice little garden up against the city wall with a tree that I love so very much. This building here that's looking a little bit more mechanical and technical and everything like that is because it is the armory. So this is probably one of the only places I actually have armor stands throughout this world, because I typically don't like how they look. But we have every smithing template in the game, minus the 1.21s. I have those, I just haven't put them on display yet. So we actually have those sitting in this shulker box right here. I just need to figure out where to put them. So we haven't done that, but we have every other armor trim in here sitting on a full set of diamond armor with gold trims on them. So we have like silences right in there. And then if I ever need to come through and like upgrade gear, put any new trims on that, I can just come over in here, duplicate the trims that I want, and then we are good to go, and we've got all of them. There's a few more sitting on top of this guy, and then there's a few more sitting on there, where you can access those through here and up those staircases, and you can find that all yourself. Now back this way, as we're still kind of on the edge of the industrial district, we have another industrial farm. This is going to be a giant forge in here once I get around to actually, building out that single room in it. But the point where the purpose in here is we have a giant lava farm. So there are 64 sources of lava in here, and I literally can't clear it and use it fast enough before it starts refilling itself. So it's very nice to have. A little bit more industrial stuff going on. This building that we've walked by a few times is called the Drip. I, in Empire Season 2, built the Drip Tavern in Gobland, which was a giant goblin cavern with a really, really cool tavern that I love so much. So I thought of doing an ode to that here in this world. That was very, very fun to work on. And so we have the Drip Lounge underneath as an ode back to the interior space that I built in Gobland for it. So it's the same color palette, very, very similar designs and everything like that. And I thought it was so cool. And then back here, we actually have a pointed dripstone farm that, as you can see, is super slow. This has been here for thousands of days, and it hasn't even filled up yet once. And I never take anything out of it. So it just kind of exists. That torch floor is ugly. Torch floor? Where's torch floor? That torch floor? Or what torch floor? I must have missed somewhere where I had a bunch of torches out. Yeah, driftstone's incredibly slow. Oh, in the lava farm? True. True. Yeah, we got it. Well, I think we're going to be doing an episode soon where we do come back through and do a bunch of interiors. But this, yeah, I think we're going to need an interior episode soon, like fixing that up. I absolutely do not need that torch in here. This thing is surrounded almost on all sides by lava. I'm like, I need a light source. Okay, so there's that. And here, my steed. We'll pick him up in a minute once we start moving off the rest of that direction. This building right here, we've walked by it when we were checking out the inn, is the Bamboo's bookstore. It's got an interior. Look at me go. I know. It's amazing. So we got a little bookstore where maybe also a little bit of a bar. So you can grab a book, you can grab a drink, you can hang out, read, and chill and all that stuff. And then the bamboo part is right down here. We have a giant bamboo farm that all feeds into here to create packed mud, apparently. But yeah, that is all filled up to the brim. Looking fantastic. And as you can see right there, the farm broke again. Woohoo! I'm Relent. Thank you so much for the bits. Everyone in chat should be hydrating, stretching, taking a bio break, and using this moment to take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate that. And Junior's Workshop, thanks so much for the prime. I appreciate that as well. Thank you. Sorry, I missed you a minute ago. Actually, I'm going to put that in here because I'll be annoyed if I am carrying one packed mud with me. Yeah, here we are. The thing that we have been walking around this entire time is this. The Foliage Market, another storage room in the city. You might be able to guess what we store in here. We have all of the different types of flowers. We got all the different crops. We got all of the nether goodies down over here. We got our grasses and our ferns and everything right in there. We've got our double tall flowers. We've got all of our hanging stuff. We've got all of the other hanging and growing thingies. We got all of these. We got all of those. And we have all of the saplings and leaves down here. And then they have a nice little seating area. Blah, 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 blah. So lovely. All these plants. So beautiful. I wanted to make it look like a pop-up market where people are coming in and just selling produce, like farmers market style. So, and then also a functional storage room. And I think it turned out really well. It's very full in here, but I love this place. It is so incredibly fun. And then over here we have Mythland Meats as another Empire's reference that we got to build the interior for that. Here, I believe this is Mary's Mechanics. I just randomly made that up at the time. And so we have that ready to go. And then this is going to be a street that will connect all the way back down to that back gate that leads to the quarry. But it can also take us a little underground for now to where the bamboo farm's right there that you saw. And then we also have a mangrove tree farm right here. I have a general rule in this world where I don't like to automate tree farms. Like I want to still play the game. I don't want to build a farm that does everything for me. But here's a quick view of this southern area that we were just in. I think it's very, very sweet. Yeah, so back here, this eventually will lead down to the mangrove farm, this building here. But anyways, the tree farming idea. If the tree is so annoying to chop down that I will actively pick a different ingredient or a different block to use in a build that I'm working on, I'll build a tree farm for it. But I'm trying to not use tree farms for base things because I want to still be like out there chopping and playing the game. And a big part of playing the game for me is the resource gathering. So right here, next to our lovely horse statue with all of the coral and a fountain and everything like that, we can grab our horsey. Hi, buddy. This horse is the fastest horse you can get in the game. I love him. He's perfect. We will come back and explore the second half of the city soon that's going up this way. But first, because I don't want to be retracing our steps too much, we're actually going to go out the back to where you can have spoilers. By continuing watching for the next few minutes, you promise that you will watch the video that comes out next Thursday of these builds. You have 3, 2, 1. Great. Thank you. Great. Perfect. We can continue now. We have a little shrine out here. We've got a bunch of buildings coming in that are so very cool. I'm still working on all of it, but as you can see, the city is starting to expand into the harbor, and I'm having so much fun working on it. We're not going to explore this too in depth, but you can get a few little glimpses here of the city buildings and everything as they're coming together, and it's looking good. It's looking good. The rest of the harbor is going to continue on down this direction and across these ways. So we have the current bridge right now, which I love this bridge with these massive flags on it. And over there, we have another gatehouse that's leading out to that exit, which will have the road continuing out to there. And I realized we didn't look at the big gatehouse, so we can go back and do that. What happens if I don't? Dishonor on you, your family, and your cow. But we have the big old gatehouse right here leading into the city. I love the imposing presence of having to walk up to it. It just makes it feel that much grander and taller. And it's so, so good. And yes, those are lodestones. I like you staying with sandstone. Oh, for that? Yeah, it worked out really well. Okay, going across this way, we can cross the bridge and enter into an area where soon there will not be a mountain here. That is my claim. Is soon there will be no mountain at this point. We're gonna bring it all down and redo everything with it. But for now, we do have a connection on the far side. I just haven't connected it yet because I don't want the mountain here, and then we'll build the road connecting all of it. Over this way, we are here. The path to path, going that way. That city's called Path, by the way. And here's a path. This used to be a big snowy mountain. We completely removed that, got rid of all the snow. Used to look like that. Now it looks like this. Great. Moving on. The path. The path continues. The path away from path continues here with a giant sunflower field that I love. I think this one's so, so cool. It's really, really... I love the colors of the sunflowers, especially looking back that way. It's just such a good view. Tried going for rolling hills for the fields, so it didn't just look like static lines. I think it turned out really well. We've got potatoes, we've got wheat, we've got a little farmhouse right over here. Beautiful custom tree. Custom river that we've been working on etching out here still needs a lot more detail. We have what I'm calling a hops field. I tried building hops. That road currently, by the way, just goes to the top of the hill and then goes nowhere beyond that, so we don't need to head out over there. But the hops exist because we have the Hair of the Dog Brewery. When the new dogs were added to Minecraft, I wanted to find them all. Where can I attach you? Let's attach you. I don't have anywhere to attach you. I guess you can hang out with these guys. Stay, horsey. So we have Stinky. We have Bubbies. We have the little brewery inside. We have Gurgles. Up here, we have this lovely one. Who, yeah, great name. We have Miss Mama. And then we have Girly Whirly. And then we have more storage space here in the back, and I don't think there's any more dogs out there, but we do have a few more outside. We got a little like tasting room in there. You can grab a brew and hang out up here. Look at the cute doggies. They're so good. Over here we have Booby and we have Shpooby, and like they're like brewing something or another. I don't know. They're working. They're smart dogs. They're doing their stuff. And I love this. I love this brewery. I'm really, really happy I took the time to do it. Okay, I need to get you hooked back up there, and then we can take you, and then we're good to go. Continuing on with the floating pathway, which eventually we're going to level this off to go down to the river area, which is right over there, and the river kind of goes up into the mountains and disappears. And it's looking pretty sweet. Headed out over this way. We recently built this bridge on stream, which I really, really love. And we have a big old custom oak tree here at the edge, and then we just made up this bridge as we're going so that we can get across here, and we can get a decent glimpse of it right there. It's on an angle, trying to not fall off, but you can see the bridge. It's pretty simple, but I like it. I think it worked out very well. I wanted to look older and really ancient. We need to do some terraforming here apparently too. And this leads ourselves off. There is an igloo right there. Yeah, I know. Random spot. Leads off over to the cartographer village, which still doesn't quite have a name to it, but that's okay. It's all good. And here we are in the cartographer village. We got a lot of custom trees around here, but I didn't want to go too heavy with them, so we can start down here. We got a little dock area for the fishermen, and I decided to say it's mostly like crabbing throughout here, so you can see a lot of the grates and the note blocks is like crab pots and everything like that. So we got a little storage for the fishermen to do. We got a little custom harbor that we carved out in there, and then up in this way we've got ourselves a fence that we can hook the horse to. This is like the city storage building area. Very much a communal lifestyle in here. And then up top, I have my own little mini survival base. So if I ever need to stop by and sleep or need a nether, this goes to the nether hub. And then we have little stuff where I can craft and do those things in here. Sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. This horse doesn't have a name. There is a horse in this world that has a name, but this one doesn't. I'm tempted to name this one Mustard. My mom had a white horse when I was growing up as a little kid that was named Mustard, so I'm kind of thinking this one could be Mustard. And yeah, so we got a really cool little storage building in here. Up here, as a reason for me to come back out to this area, I always try and add reasons to revisit zones of this world. So inside of here, we have a shepherd building, and we have all of our banner patterns and everything like that. The only one that I'm missing is the creeper skull. And I need a charge creeper, but for some reason in this world, thunderstorms and rain just haven't happened in nearly like 4,000 days, I think, 3,000 days. I don't know what broke, but between one of the updates we have, weather no longer works in this world. So we can't really get charge creepers without that. So a wee bit of a problem. Moving up this way, though, they got their little field. We got another place. This is for the farmers, I believe. Yeah, we have some composters in here. So the farmers are doing their thing. Upstairs is just a lot of beds. This building right here is not for the cartographers. Thank you very much, sir. But this is for the clerics. And they keep opening the doors. And then we have a little greenhouse in here. I redesigned the cleric from being some sort of like a religious cleric in a chapel to they are more of like a herbalist healer type vibe, which I thought was more suiting for this location. Up here, we have a leatherworker's storefront. Not a place where they would tan the leathers or do anything like that, but inside of here, there's a child running around. A child leatherworker. But this is where they're coming back to like sell the hides that they've produced and leathers and everything, so they can do that in here. Because I know that leatherworkers in areas typically were very stinky, so being in the middle of the village, probably not the best idea. Up here, we have the cartographer's house, which was the first one that we built when we did this region, and I love it so very much. Inside of here, the cartographers are hanging, and there's our first trial chamber map. And they've just got a bunch of goodies around here. And an ender chest. Good on me. Leaving those around the world more often. Hi, buddy. There's still more work to be done out here. There's still a lot more expansions I have planned. And I want to head out that way into the ocean a little bit more for some fun stuff. A cat. I don't think I have any fish on me. They have chickens that are all trying to escape. But that's okay. Down on this side, though, we can do a little fly out into the ocean. I can give you all a glimpse of the big terraforming project that we did here. I tore out all of the stone on the cliffs and remodeled it and did these dark basalt, deep slate, tough, with a little splotches of lighter tones in here, custom cliffs that I think are turning out really, really cool. So we did all of that. And we can actually land down here on a boat that I thankfully left. And we can kind of get a little bit of a better view of it. Yeah, I love this angle that we have where it just is just... Wow, that's weird on the boat. Why is my... No, wait, weird. It's like really framey moving, but I love the angle that we have with the boat where it just like, or with the cliffs where it just grows and then like lops off down. I really love that triangle that we've created, and I think it's just a cool vibe. It would be really, really fun to keep continuing growing that out here. Jewel, thank you so much for gifting the sub out to Thomas. I really do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think, Thomas, if you haven't, you should put a message in chat because I think you actually have a founder's badge. I cleared out a bunch of names and I think your name popped up under the founder's badge thing. So I'm curious if that shows on gift subs. We don't have anything going that direction right now because I haven't bothered going up there. But this has been a really fun build to do. and all those things. So now we can grab our horse, and actually, this is one of the only times we're going to be retracing our steps, so we're going to head on out that way. Head back over to, not Papyrus, working slowly towards Papyrus on the far side of the world, but to Path. There is a Founder's Badge. Thomas does have one. Okay, time to drink and horse. Add white parrots to the cliffs. That could be fun, but parrots are such a pain in the butt to get. Alaskan fjords vibes. Yeah, that could be kind of fun. That would be cool to get some custom icebergs out there. Do you have any secret spots in your world? Not too much stuff that I haven't ever... Like, there's nothing in this world that I've never, like, not shared on camera, if that's what you're asking. Doing anything with the igloo? Leaving it for now. It is one that has villagers down underneath it. We cured them. They're just hanging. Gosh, still clearing that out. That used to be snow, probably up way to there. And leveling it out and putting the grass on made it... I love this area so much more. We still have to finish the back, but it's getting there. Yeah, the Stanley is still cold. Still cold. Love your mob animations. It's called Fresh Animations. It's a texture pack for Java. Alrighty. Almost back to the city. This world is growing big. We have the fastest horse possible, and it still takes a few minutes to get back to a different place. The cats need a place in the area with the dog brewery. The cats... We have all the cats. They actually own an entire town on the far side of the world, so... The cats don't just have a brewery, they own a town. So, like, they're doing alright. Are there any myths or similar things that you based anything you built off of? The world tree that you can't see right now, you can see right there, is based off of Yggdrasil from Norse mythology. So I guess kind of. Because I wanted a big world tree vibe. Anyways, here we are, back in the city. We can head on up this way to view the second upper half of the city that we have so far. And for now, Horsey, where can I drop you so we can go a little slower on foot? I think I have a fence around here somewhere. No, but you can stay in the stables. No, no, no. You stay in the stables. You're doing the thing too, aren't you? Has anybody else seen this? Has anybody else seen that horses can do this in the new update? Anybody else? Anybody else's? Bro, please stop spamming. Why would you spam your same message 20 times? Yeah, anybody else seen that horses can now climb trapdoors in the new update? Anybody else? Anybody else notice that one? That's a new 1.21 feature right there. It's not jumping. Any horse can do that. Any horse can now climb up trapdoors from the side. They somehow see if the trapdoors are opening this way towards them. The horse can just go, woo! Doesn't matter the height. They can just do it. They're spider horses. All of them. Every single one. It's all good, May. We got it. Anytime I feel like I'm one of those things where if anybody, like if anybody comes in and spams, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. But if somebody who's a member comes in and spams a message like 20 times, I'm like, you've been around long enough to be a member. Why would you? No, it's so dumb. I get like more. I'm like, really? You should, like, I'm just like, you should know better. Anyways, on with the tour. This is where we have our road leading from the industrial district into the upper city area. And right here is where we're going to be moving off to a street leading up to a university. Here we have an apiary, which we have a custom tree inside with a bunch of little parrots up there. Yeah, there's the top of the parrot. So we'll check that out in a minute. This building right here, we have two kind of clones of each other right next to each other, which I love. And then in here, we're selling like cloths is the idea. Like you come in here, buy your cloth, like different colored dyes, dyed cloth and everything like that to be able to make your own stuff, or maybe you can buy clothing from them. Up above, we have a bit of a house. We got a kitchen, we got a little table, and we have, this leads right over here to where the seamstress would be working up here, the little tailor station right there. So we got like an old school sewing table of sorts, and then they just have a bedroom right out in here. Love it so very much. The attic currently doesn't have anything going on in it, so it's just kind of closed off. This actually, weirdly enough, has this little weird balcony that leads into the other home. And so that's over in here looking very cool and all that stuff, and I love it. And yeah, we've got that. It leads out to its own back street now, so that connects to the ground. So it's not really like this is the only way to get into the house. It used to be, but now we have another way. So that leads up to another bedroom up here with a very simple interior, bunk beds, and a double bed in the back, which is pretty sweet. And again, no attic on this one quite yet. Did not make space for it. They got a little storage closet in there and whatnot. Actually, we can just jump. Don't do it. I did it. Garen, thank you so much for the 3 months. Really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Watch your videos for a while, and you're always super open and supportive to everyone. Have a great day. Hey, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Also, Maxwell, thank you so much for becoming a member as well. Now, right next to where we had the tailoring store, like the clothing store, here we have a apothecary of sorts. So a bunch of little random goodies, herbs, substances, and like potions and things. You can come buy them pretty much all in here. Definitely not shady at all. And we did just walk through the upper area of that. We'll go into that back alley in a moment. This is just a little overpass that connects here into another brewery that we have. I was apparently on a brewery building kick because we did two pretty much back to back. And here we have a little mini super smelter to power this side of the city if I ever need to quickly smelt something. And there they got a little storage room. This is just purely a functional room there in the middle. And then out here in the front, we have a like brewing vat and everything like that. Moving up top, we've got some more brewing things. You can see all the piping. Over here's like their testing room where they're maybe trying new spices and everything like that, and different additions and how they can make their own best brew possible. Up here, no mobs. I think that corner's spawnable. Just got to double check. Sword out at the ready. But we got our little mini brewing vats. And we got a bunch of kegs that are there in the dark and just kind of chilling, doing their own thing, which is pretty fun. And then that kind of leaves out to here. In the city, we had the industrial district right down there. We kind of have like an old town vibe that's going to be out over there. And this is actually, that's kind of the old town. Industrial over there, and then that's going to be like outskirts. This here is what I'm calling the Dwarven district. So there's a lot more mechanical elements to it and everything, but it also is University Street that's going to be leading up to a giant foliage-inspired university that we're going to be building up there on top of that mountain eventually. So there's a lot of different things throughout here. Like this is a small cafe built around the idea that students would need somewhere to come study or relax after school. So we got a bunch of tables and chairs. We got a nice little reading nook down here, like a place to study. And then we didn't really attach a kitchen to it, so maybe we'll figure that out one of these days. But for now, it's a nice little lovely cafe with like upstairs seating and everything like that too. Back this way, under the overpass, leads into the back street where we have the giant glass factory that I love. It's so cool. The back of the house that we're touring in there, they've got their own little like outdoor dyeing area or some sort of a shop. This is like a little market back here where people come along, buy things, because we're going to have like a building coming up right along there to fill up this space. More buildings and everything coming around this. But this here is an automatic stained glass factory that is so very cool. Glass. You can tell it produces glass because it says it. And the way this thing works is you come along here, you press the color of dye that you want, and then that sends the dyes over into this machine right here. And then on top of that, we come up here to the glass sign, and you load all of the glass that you want into these. That'll send that down a hopper chain right there into there. And then that will automatically produce glass, send it down this water stream right there, and drops it down into a hole there, where we'll go to in a minute to show where it all gets dropped off. But we have all the different dyes in here symbolized by that, and I thought it'd be kind of cool for a contrast of a big factory, still greenery vibes in the city, of over here we have an area for them to get dyes. We have a really, really lush greenhouse right in here that I think is so fun. I love it. Then we've got a back access point right here that can take you back to where you can load in all the dyes and everything, which it looks like some of them are empty. I thought I put some stacks in there. Maybe it's sitting in the hopper below. But yeah, it's really, really sweet. We've got extra glass in there just because I added a ton of it. This can also reach around the side where we have some outdoor flower pods and everything like that. Leads ourselves up to the tippity top, where we don't have an entranceway on the inside, or we don't have a connection point, but we have this little like factory element in there leading into a second greenhouse, because of course we need 2 greenhouses. This just is really, really cool, lush and everything like that. No, I did make the connection. So you can come down here. We have a little access point to go to the roof if you need it. And then this you can take. You just have to be able to kind of jump over these chains because Minecraft, small cramped factory vibes. And then that leads you right back here to the glass section. So that's kind of how that stuff all connects in there. This big old glass factory, and just getting as much color in here as I possibly could was the goal. And then all that stuff that drops underground will actually lead its way over here to this very, very colorful building. The color storage room, the color cathedral, kind of. Up top, over on this side, we are storing all of the different types of candles. Over on this side, we are storing all of the different types of dyes and everything like that. So we always have some on hand ready to go. Then down underneath, we have, right over here, we have concretes and concrete powders. And on this side, we have our glass, where you can see the hoppers behind that. So we have auto sorters set up to bring all of the glass in here and connect it in. Some of these are pretty empty right now because I've been using a lot recently. But yeah, so we got a really cool area over here just decorated out for all of our different concretes and things. So if I need them, we can come down and store them here, or maybe I need to actually start storing some in there, but that's fine. Then we continue up into the rest of the city, which is looking pretty good. This is kind of the upper district. We will come back for the horse. Where did I leave the horse? Where did I put the horse? We'll come back to the horse, but first, behind the color cathedral here, we have this lovely little like park. It's just kind of a little park here, because I want to start moving into this area of having bigger, fancier houses, like as in the neighborhood underneath the tree in the stables. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's looking pretty good. So we got a bunch of custom trees in the park there, and also the aviary that I did not mention. We have in here with just a bunch of birds sitting on a tree. Just a place, again, for students to come and hang and maybe research the tree, and like some of the students at the university have to care for the thing. I don't know. Over here, we have another water stream coming throughout that goes down into some sewers that currently don't pop out anywhere, but they do go down that way. We have the stables building where we dropped our horse, and he got out. Okay, right. I'll find you later. Nope. Here, this is what we can do. Ah, sucker. Now you're stuck. But over here, we have the, this is going to be a mail, like, post office. I thought it was fun. We have a little underpass there. These buildings all connect. This is going to be a big old inn, and then that'll have, like, sleeping areas going all the way over above the stables and everything. So it's kind of one big grand building. And over this way, we have a little back street leading up there. This is a big adventurers guild, merchants guild. The adventurers guild's farther up. We still need to do the interior, but it has that whole big building, connects over here, and then they also have the tower as part of that. This side street here, I really, really love how it's turned out. So in the back here, we have a little barber shop there that I know that is not correct for a barber. We have an apothecary on the back there. And then this building right here is an herbalist who's just growing a bunch of stuff. So we have a really cool, close together section here with a bunch of different layers of different places to walk around and everything. Tight back street vibes. And then we have the back of the Merchants Guild, and then that little garden for the apothecary is right in here, with included some wither roses, because why not? That goes farther up into the upper city, but we can take this little alley right here that will bring us right back down to where we were on the far side. So there's the Merchant Guild again, a few little stands throughout here. This building is a school. Inside of here, we have a classroom at the first floor, place for people to put their book bags and everything like that throughout the day. And then going up to the top, we have a second classroom where I guess they're learning about creepers, and it's looking pretty good. Down here, these are going to be two merchants. The idea is that it's like two brothers operating stores right next to each other. Both can be kind of mechanical elements. Haven't really figured out what they are yet. I think one was going to be like a clockmaker and something, or like a watchmaker or something like that. But they got these cool like townhouse styles right next to each other. That's that alley that we just came up. This leads in the back and connects throughout here to where we're going to have a small playground for the school, and then that connects into the archway along there. Then we have the big old garden section up in there, which is looking pretty sweet. But first, we have the giant public square, where you can see in its grandeur all of the city over there, and then also in its grandeur the town hall for this section, the city hall, I guess we could call it, for the upper section of the city, which is looking pretty snazzy. And the entire interior of this one is done. The idea is that this used to be a mansion of somebody who ruled over this area. They lived in here in the manor, like used to be the ruling class. So the upstairs is like housing, and the bottom stairs has been retrofitted into like conference rooms and everything like that. So we've got a bunch of little meeting rooms and spaces in here that are all kind of different colors. So you can be like, yeah, we're meeting in the crimson room today. Or you can be like, we're meeting in the warped room today. Yeah? See? Planning. But I love this little entry hall. That leads up to the gardens, which we'll check on in a moment. That leads upstairs. And back in here, we have a little storage place. And then we also have a kitchen, because obviously if it was previously owned by somebody who lived here, they needed a kitchen. So we got a big old kitchen in there. That goes up to the upper stairs right here, where I have made sure to mob-proof all of this. I think I have not. That is definitely spawnable where we're standing right now. I kind of did this glow lichen trim along, so we'll just keep that there consistently. If we need more glow lichen, I'll just keep it on me. Up here, we go up to the third floor, or second floor, and this is kind of the living quarters area. We have a big old bedroom here that's perfect, as it is nighttime right now, so we can stop by. They got a little closet in there, and then they also have a private back office over in here. I at one point said I was going to move out of my starter house and move in here, and then I just never did, and I don't really regret it. It's fine. Totally fine. What day are we on now? How many days are we into the tour? Haha, 98. We're going to hit 3,000 or 7,400 days today. Yeah, I keep saying 3,000. I don't know. But I have a great view outside the main city gate where that zombie is currently burning, and now he's no longer burning. Cat, you're not doing a great job of stop licking your paw. Get rid of the zombie. You're the front guard of the city. What do you... Oh, stupid cat. Dog would have gotten rid of the zombie. Over here, we have another bedroom for, like, the kids' room. We have this was a very, very important room of the video where we built this. Was my 1,000th video on YouTube. So this is the 1,000 room with a pig. Figured it made sense. In here, we kind of have the flex room. We have an extra set of netherite armor. We have some swords. We have beacons. We have wither skelly skulls, and we have gold and diamond armor in here, just for like a trophy room of sorts, just because it was kind of a weird stretch. So I was like, yeah, that'll be fine. Need more cats, more protection? I don't know. One cat didn't do much. He's licking his paws. Out here in the back now into the garden, we've got a little like wine sipping area under this beautiful canopy. You can just chill out here, get out of the sun, and sip on some lovely beverages. And then over here we have this was kind of turned public gardens after the manor owner no longer was in charge and turned back over to the city. The city then turned this into public gardens. So we have a fountain up here. We've got another fountain down there, just like a pool. We've got shrines kind of carved into the walls and everything. And then the prized possession of this garden is a baby version of the world tree. So I tried making like a sapling of that is here kind of starting to grow. I'm not sure if I love it too much anymore, but at the time I was like, it's pretty cool. Up here, we've just got some more decorative stuff just for a pop of color with the sandstone to change things up, and some more trees to really just block the gross vanilla Minecraft terrain behind it. And then we can head back down this way, back into that main floor. Here's that little hallway that led up to the garden, and then we're into the main room. And we can jump on out the front, explore the rest of the city. In there is going to be the giant city crypts eventually. I do want to build that out, just as we don't really have a graveyard, so we'll probably do some big old crypts of sorts down there. Up over onto this side, we have a chapel kind of sitting above that doesn't have an interior. This is like a weird little lookout for somebody who's like living up here. I don't really know, but I was like, I need something for the corner, so we threw a bed and that up there. It's weird, I know. This is going to be just like another workshop of sorts. There's no interior on it. That's just a tower sticking up. This guy right here, also, again, a workshop of sorts in the first floor. They got a little outdoor market and everything. Not too much in there, but the important one is in here. We have the comment of the episode bookstore. If you didn't know, on my second channel, with every single main channel video, we do a comment of the episode video where I pick like 5 or 6 comments. And every time I fill out a book where we have officially filled out the first book with 100 pages, that is now in here. So you see the first comment of the day episode with a bunch of people with all their comments and everything I can hear. We're almost halfway through the second book too, so we're just going to slowly be filling this out as we go and see how many of those that we can fill up. It's going to be super fun. So if you want to check those out, they're all on the second channel. Just very, very chill, talky episodes. But we got the little library in here with all the just like seating space and everything. I really love this spot. It's a fun one. Upstairs currently does not have anything at all. And that's fine. We'll get to these buildings soon on the other side for their main entrances, but we do have a little garden right here for the background of that's an inn. So it's a little place for the patrons to sit outside and chill and just have a moment of peace in the city. This here is the Adventurers Guild, which I really want to come back and design soon. I'm really looking forward to doing that one. I love this building, and I really want to give it an interior soon. Then we have another little farm right next to the city wall. Anytime we have like a space right next to the city wall, because I figured the city guard is not going to want people building buildings right up against it. So they're like, yeah, you can turn it into a garden. That's fine. You can use that space for a little food growth and everything like that. Why not? Or just little storage sections and whatnot. Then we have more storage in here, and this is actually the main front entrance of the city. Where is that zombie who is out here? He's still hanging? He's not hanging. He's gone. He burned. He died. I guess you did keep him out. Yeah, You should be a little ashamed. We saw that. Everybody saw that. Here is the main street, which we can check out. And this building is going to be wagon storage. It used to be holding 2 villagers, because this place that we're in used to be a village. And this was where the 2 villagers were. I was definitely maybe trying to turn them into a witch or something like that, but that's fine. And then pillagers spawned in this room and killed them. So we don't have villagers here anymore. And that's sad. Very, very sad. But the inn over here is lovely. It's a nice little inn. So we have a little front entry room where you can check in. It's also a tavern. So if you want a room, you can go up this way. And then there's great rooms up there, as you can see. Or if you want to just come in for a bite of food, maybe buy some local art. Support your local artists. You can buy some of their art off the walls. And then we have our our dining room area in here, which is so sweet. And then in the back, we have the kitchen, and then we have the seating area that we were in previously. Not perfectly. We were perfectly in that previously. But it's cool. I love this spot. We got somebody selling some blueberries, and the doggo is in charge of this market stall. Right next to that, we have the Stitch It Up tailoring shop right in here, where we have this lovely little stand. This is like high-class tailoring, so we got the seamstress. You can meet with them in here. You can change your clothes and all that stuff and try on whatever they're working on with you, and then like another consultation like work area right back in here. And currently no upstairs interior for it. I'm kind of going with RPG style for interiors of not every space inside of a building is going to be something that you can walk into, but the spaces that hopefully when you can walk into them, there will be interiors and things that you can do. So when you're on the first floor, you're going to be able to look around into the windows and see interiors on the buildings is the goal. Like this one. Right across the street, we have the grocery store, which is so fun. I love this spot. We've got all of our produce going in here. We've got all that. We got barrels full of stuff that you could purchase. And then this does actually have an automatic farm behind it. Underneath here, we have a pumpkin and melon farm that is doing work. It's doing work. It's doing things. So that's all down there. I really want to sort that out and get automatic melon block production, but I just haven't bothered yet. Over in here, we've already been there. This is that little back street alley point with just some machinery elements and stuff in here. That's that alley that we walked through already. And then we can lead ourselves this way into where we have a little wagon workshop where somebody's like building wagons to sell. And then we have another little back communal area in here. Eventually, this was going to be a carpenter's workshop. And then over here, we have a space for every single rideable mob minus the camel. Currently is in this stable building. We'll check it out in a minute, but we got the pig. He used to have a saddle on him. And then we have a skeleton horse. Just a place for all the rain wash to come down here for like mounts and everything to drink. For the animals can have a drink out of water in there. Little storage building. And then we can go to the front where we have this. That was that wagon storage building. We have the Adventurers Guild over there. And then we have this alleyway, which I really, really love. It's so, so fun. We got a little market stall. We've got a little garden. We've got the rest of this area in here where we have a mule. We have a horse. We have a llama, 2 llamas. And then we have a donkey. So we've got all of them in here, I believe, besides the camel. We just haven't brought a camel over yet. And then that leads ourselves around up here to this, where we've got a smith. And the idea behind this was, I think what we said were their 2 sisters who are both blacksmiths, 2 siblings. And so we have one smithing station here, and we have another smithing station here. They've got their pile of coal, but they have 2 fully separate setups, and they're basically competing to see who is the best, but also working together to run a shop together. So I thought it was a kind of fun way to do it, break it up from just being like a casual blacksmith to where we got the little bit of a lore story behind it. This is the upstairs of the carpenter's house. That is a very, very solid floor. And then this building right here is going to be a bakery. Haven't built it out yet, but you can see it's a bakery because it has cakes in the windowsill. Yeah, that's the way it goes. And this is the upstairs of the wagon place, and it's kind of got a floor, but we don't want to fall down in there. And then this leads us back over to the apothecary, herbalist, and everything like that. So we're really getting up there, and I think that is most of the city. I believe. Did I miss anything? I think that's the city. Y'all, we've been here for almost 2 hours. We've only went one direction from the starter base, and that was the shorter direction. Huh. Well, we got a lot of work to do. Okay, let's head on out of here. We've got a lot more stuff to do. We got a lot more touring to go for. And out the front gate now, as the sun is setting again, you can see starter house area is right over there to give you context where we are. The giant world tree, obviously, in the middle. And then here we have a little inn and stable outside the city. So maybe you don't want to pay to go in the city because I'm assuming there'd be some goods fee if you're trying to come inside with a bunch of stuff to sell. Probably some fee. So you can stay the night there outside the city for probably a cheaper rate. We got a little vineyard here with our flowering azalea. We have 3 windmills on this side, a little creek coming down that runs down into the turtle pond, and then just some more stuff. These windmills are pretty much the same design, but we have a little weird elements changed in and out, basically how to get it to the top, if it has a lift or not, just something for a little bit more variety to it. Let's do a quick sleepy sleep. Do you have a hanging glowberry field? I do not, because I don't really like the look of them from any direction other than directly on the side. So I tend to not do them. Okay, before we head off that direction, no, actually, we are going to go this direction first. Through the custom oak forest. I redesigned this forest completely. It was an oak forest, just like a regular default vanilla one. Completely gutted it, completely tore down all the trees, and built a bunch of custom ones on top so that we could have a taller canopy and kind of block the view off this direction. And I love the work. I love how it worked out. You can see a lot of different like decoration stuff. Anytime there's an opening in the canopy, so sun's coming through, we're having some flowers growing. And it just worked out really well. So we have that leads us over here into a very, very fun area where this was my first raid farm in the world as a way to get totems of undying early on. We have a giant custom mountain drop back behind it. Inside of that mountain is a ghast farm output from the Nether. We have a creeper farm into here that actually moves the gunpowder into the ghast farm to put it into the same storage room. And outside of that, it's all just decorative over here. This building, though, is a pillager outpost that you might have seen on the map in the beginning that we were looking at that I completely transformed into a castle. And yes, I was attacked by pillagers the entire time doing it. Ah, don't hit my horse. So, yeah, they own the castle. We're not going to go in there because I don't want to lose my horse. We've got a little farmhouse here that is kind of helping to supply the pillagers with food. That's why it's still standing here. They agreed to be like, yeah, please don't murder us. We'll give you all of our food, or at least enough food so we can kind of eat. And then heading out this direction is a very, very big project that we're still kind of in the starting phases of. As I say, we've put nearly like 50 to 100 hours in it probably. But I'm working on a giant landscape. I'm working on a giant custom landscape transformation that I really, really like. So we have well over 100,000 dirt placed. It's very big, very, very big. And I don't think we can get the horse across the river. Maybe we can. He's a decent jumper. Nope. Ah, so close. No road. Hey, we haven't done the build here yet. We don't need a road until there's a build. This is only landscape. Why would they have a road if there's no civilization out here? Huh? All right, so up here, yeah, big old custom landscape. I want to use wheat as like a grass type thing. And other than that, you can see we have like mountains going that way. We're slowly working towards here. You can see some of the scaffolding as we're like still figuring out where we want to send everything. No, please, buddy. Please, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, it's still work in progress. Still a lot of stuff going on in here, but I'm really excited to continue it. And we're just kind of covering biomes as we go with all of it. So this is a work in progress over here. Just for point of reference, right over there, you see that little glass floating? There's a squid farm underneath that. It's terrible. It barely works. So we're not even going to go bother visiting it. But there's a squid farm there. If you have the download and you want to check that out, there is one over there. Horses can't jump on mud, but they can jump over some trees. It's because mud is slightly lower than a block tall. It's like this dude can almost leap an entire river, then he can't walk up past a mud block. No, sir. Get over. No, sir. Thank you. Yeah, this dude's he's got a leap. Okay, that's the extent that the road this direction goes, so we can head back past the pillager castle and check out some more of the earlier content that we did in this world. Plans on another custom forest? Eventually, yeah. Nothing that I have written down right now, but I want to do more custom forests for sure. Okay. Back through the custom oak forest we go. And we have been out here. Dude, we're almost 2 hours into this tour. This is for the real ones. This is, if y'all have been hanging this entire time, this is a big tour. Okay, coming down here, we've got ourselves into some more farmland. This is just like a decorative house here. Turtle ponds down below. I've got a fishing shack right there. You can there's fishing shack right there if you didn't see. Right there. That's where I used to do a lot of fishing. And we don't really use it too much anymore. But headed out over this direction, we have a place where we can drop the horse inside of the town. Let's go drop him, and then we'll fly back up, and then we'll come back and meet him here. Where's a fence? There's a fence. That's not. Thank you. Okay, let's head back up to starter base and walk our way down the hill so you can kind of get a glimpse of everything that we're going to be looking at here as we're moving upwards. There's the doghouse, there's the original animal pen, all that cool stuff. Right in here, we have the first moss farm that I made. It also was a bone meal farm. Completely cleared it out of most of it, and haven't bothered really using that one too much because it's on a chunk border, so it actually breaks if I'm not nearby it, so I don't use it too much because I have a better one now. We got a bunch of fields. Here we actually have the original fields that kept me alive is we have an auto potato field. We now have an auto carrot field where these villagers, they have a friend hidden down in the house right there. So they toss their carrots and everything into there, and you can see that darker part of the block was a minecart hopper. Picks it all up, and then we just pull them all down into here. And as you can see, very full. Very, very full. We got a little grain silo back there. In a way, if any of these villagers die, this rail line connects down into the Dwarven trading village and to the villager breeder, so I can bring one all the way up here if I really need a replacement for one of these, because unfortunately, there are a few times that somehow zombies were able to get into here and murder the potato guy, so that was quite sad. Moving on to happier things, though, we have a little vineyard, like grape patch right over here with acacia leaves, just because that's all I had access to in early game. And then inside I have the first greenhouse that I ever made in this world, because it holds a bee farm. Well, a honeycomb farm. It's completely out of shears right now, so I haven't used it for a long time. And I'm just kind of letting it go until I get these a little bit more cleared out, because I don't need to waste any more shears. But we have that, and it's looking really cool. And I love this little greenhouse. We got just a little storage section over on the side here. And then if I actually do need bees for anything and I want to take them anywhere, we have a little bee breeding building right in here. So we have a bunch of bee nests that they can all go in. And then we got a few wild bees out here that are hanging out too, but I'm pretty sure they have disappeared to the tops of mountains and everything like that. That's most of that section right over there where that road leads to, but we can come right past potato field. That balloon up there, by the way, is Mythical Sausage. When he died in his first hardcore world, they gave him a balloon instead of a grave, because anytime people were dying and he was playing in that hardcore world, he was giving them balloons. So it's like, okay, I'll give you a balloon for yours. We got some more flowers and everything in here, because I didn't want to put crops just in case the villagers were on that side and they were like, I must harvest crop. I must, and then they were not working.
Your streams give me lots of inspiration for my own world.
Hey, Crystal, thank you so much for the donut. I appreciate that. That's very cool. And Alex79 TV, thanks so much for the 18 months, dude. I missed that earlier. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep up the great work. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Okay, down here, we have fishing shack right there. We have a sheep farm right here that I have had forever. So we got wild sheep out there if I need to mass shear a certain type, and we can all dye them. Up here, we have a Jeb sheep just chilling because colors, fun. And then inside, we have every single sheep in their own pens, automatically collecting the wool that comes to them outside of the gray one, because somehow he was eating grass faster than the rest, so he regrew his wool faster than the rest, and all the shears broke. Why is that firing? Some of these are firing when they shouldn't be. Weird. I don't know, man. Oh well. Down this way, if we hook a right, we can head down here to a few more fields. We have the first Lily of the Valley field that I planted. This was so incredibly difficult because Lily of the Valley flowers are hard to get a lot of them, at least in my world for some reason. I've yet to find a place that consistently spawns them. So yeah, that was all going out and harvesting those was a pain in the butt. Here we have a giant fish. Definitely came out of the pond here. That fish definitely came out of this pond. And here we have the fishing shack, just chilling, just with some fishing loot and everything like that. I definitely took the fishing rod and put it somewhere else, but we used to have some boats in here and all that stuff. And I think this is the first Fishing with fWhip episode that I did, where I invited Sausage and Gem to hang out. I think we just all got in boats and went fishing in here for a while. I need to get back to that. I want to do more Fishing with fWhip stuff. That'd be fun. Indeed, or thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate that. And then down this way, that leads off to World Spawn. We'll head that way in a moment. Here we have just a little hamlet, just a tiny village, basically. Not too much decoration to it. I just wanted to fill up the space and have some buildings in here. So they have a little dockyard and everything like that, they just kind of have this space. It's not super realistic, but I just wanted something here instead of more fields. We needed more homes. And turning this way, we'll head to the town. Stopping first before the town, we have cherry trees. And then up here we have another little farm area, just with again another like ranch house style. We got 2 homes in there, and we got a grain silo. And then we have the original moss on log. We can visit that. Everybody can pay your respects now. You can pay your moss on log respects now. And I believe I randomly did this interior. I did, and I haven't done that one yet. I don't know why. We have a really cool tree right here. I love that one's super, super fun. I think I put candles on top of it. Yeah, I did. I put candles on there, which is a pain because you can't place candles on leaves. So you had to put full blocks, break them, and then put the leaf back. Oh, sorry, too much talking. Yawning. We'll have a little bridge going over this dry section here. That I'm assuming when like it'd have to super flood, but I'm assuming like somehow that would get out to here. I don't know. It doesn't really make that much logical sense, but it looks cool. Leading into the town, however, double tall flower. And this here is another wagon workshop because they use wagons to get everywhere. This is a little farmhouse. We have wagon. This here that we're walking under is a giant inn that connects over to a stables. So the inn itself was going to be this building in here. And then it kind of connects for rooms all the way on top over to here. Behind the inn, we have another 2 farmhouses right back in here where we've actually expanded that way in the future. I kind of forgot about. We have a market in the middle with a bunch of big market stalls, just kind of old school ones with wool blocks. Probably would do them differently nowadays, but they look nice. We just have another little farmhouse. We have our horse hanging out here. Should probably put my sword away. Backside of that one is just this farmhouse and a little kind of cul-de-sac vibes in here where they have just like some storage and more houses and everything. Again, just another random house. This was my big project for episode 10, and I thought this thing was massive. I love the build, but yeah, this was like I did the entire town in one episode, and that was the first time I was like, we're doing like mega projects. And then now I'm just like, this thing's kind of small. But we have a storage room right in here. We completely transformed this place. You can see that it's all like a cold grass color. I think it was like a gravel beach or something. So we completely transformed and gutted it. And yes, for the people asking why the cats don't have a brewery, they own the town. Every single type of cat in Minecraft is currently sitting right here. Multiple of certain of them. They all are just here doing their thing. They own this town. It's the cat mafia. They own the town. Here's the backside of the market stall. Headed out this direction, we've got like the harbor master's house right in here so they can watch over all the boats coming in. We got a little workstation here where a cat is actually working instead of sitting around. We've got a big old crane right here for unloading things. We've got, I think this is going to be a little tavern of sorts. I can't really remember. Another storage room for things being unloaded, like this right here. As an envoy from New Papyrus, they found a fossil and they brought it over to gift it to the city. So this is actually a legit Minecraft fossil that we found in the desert. We picked it up, remembered exactly how it was built, and rebuilt it here and put it on this as if the boat had brought it all the way over. So that's kind of a little lore behind it. But yeah, so we got this big old tower on the corner. I love this hill leading up into the custom forest. We did these rocks recently, and I love how they turned out. It just looks so much better than it did before. That back there leads into a waterway underneath that direction, up to that bridge that we went across. That water goes all the way back there. This is just way down onto the dock. And we just have some more small buildings right back in here. Snacks. You can get your snacks. You can come outside and eat your snacks. He's waiting for a snack. This I don't really remember. I think it was going to be somebody who's going to help. Yeah, there's like a sail maker workshop in there. And it was somebody who would be able to like live there and then come over to work right away. Who wouldn't want to work when your work is right in your backyard? I mean, come on, it's perfect. Fun part about this one though is back when I was doing this, I asked a bunch of people in the community at the time to build some boats, and I added them in here. So I think Thomas, if you're still hanging in here, Thomas, I think you did this boat. Blocky, that looks like your boat because those are the colors you always use on the boats. And I can't remember who did the other ones, but we have another one there, and there. If you go back to episode 10, I gave shout outs and mentioned everybody who did them in there. That's definitely a blocky boat, yeah. And that's definitely a Thomas boat over there, too. Yeah, so we got those boats in here. We got a few fish that got pulled out. And we do a lot of fishing down here. I believe my fishing rod is sitting in one of these barrels. TK, Ander, and Blobbin. Oh, thank you. One of these barrels. I swear. That's just all fishing loot. Where'd my fishing rod go? Maybe I keep it in my... Did I keep it in my ender chest now? I could have sworn I'd left it in here. That's okay. That's okay. Oh, here. Nope. Nope, guess not. Love that we all know what a blocky boat looks like. Hey, Blocky's famous. He's got a boat design. Gotta keep the colors consistent. That's why I use blue, light blue and orange on everything. Yeah, so this is the big old town. I love it. It's perfect. I mean, actually, I could do a lot better if I did it now, but I loved it for the time when I made it, and that's what matters. That's the important part. We will head back by the little hamlet and come around that way, but we're going to head towards World Spawn now. 2 hours into the tour, and we're finally getting to World Spawn. There's the little hamlet. You come up this way. We're kind of underneath the lumber mill right now. And we're leading up here to where we got some more fields. And this is one of my favorite buildings in the entire game. Horsey, I can't get you in here, but we can lead you to right there. Where this I have now underground because we just compacted it with autocrafters. And also for everybody who thought that was disconnected, it actually works totally fine because its goal is to just sit there for that to pull underneath. So it's actually not disconnected. So yeah, it's looking really good. It's all the way down here. Fully auto-crafting hay bales for us as we get them, which is super, super fun. And this is connected to, just for a little whoop, right over here, into a wheat farm, an allay-powered wheat farm. So as those note blocks chime, the allays, if they have extra wheat, they will drop them in there. And I don't know how that dude is... Oh, I guess there's a grass block for him to jump on top. A glass for him to jump on. Okay. But yeah, so you can see multiple layers in here. The bees have all flooded the bottom floor. They're doing their thing. Chaotic flipstone. Hey, it's functional. I mean, look at all this. Look at all them hay bales. Look at them hay bales from this farm. You can't tell me that's not worth it. Hi, Horsey. Sorry I had to leave you for a minute. Moving on from there, though, the way to get into that hay farm currently, the wheat farm, is right in that gap. That's the only way down into it. So we need to fix that soon. But that's okay. That's been like that for thousands of days, and I keep saying I need to fix it. Here, though, we are officially in World Spawn. Let's go drop our horse right down here. Just for a quick reference point, this is where I spawned into the world. Right here. This is where we started. 7,400 days ago. Exactly. We are on day 7,400 right now. This is where it all started. Up here, we have an iron farm that is really cool. And I tried going with like a mystical vibe of like some magic is holding the structure together and keeping its shape. Give a little bit more fantasy to it. There we have a gross Minecraft moss farm. Great moss farm, just looks gross. I need to cover it or move it. In here, this is a little like super pixelated version of my character profile, like my profile picture. It's kind of a vibe. I don't know. It's cool. This is a cactus farm that I built here because I thought originally that cactus would just work and grow. But no, a player needs to be with 128 blocks of cactus for it to grow. So that actually does not work because I'm never around here. I mean, technically it works. I'm just not here to make it work. Over this way, though, we have a big old pitcher pod field. We've got some more houses for people who are manning these fields. And then over here, we have a few bees, and we have a big old torchflower field. And then we have the best boys ever, the giant sniffer farm. Look at all of them. They're so adorable. They're chilling. They're doing their thing. This is actually an automatic pitcher pod and torchflower seed farm. He's back. Okay. But anyways, there's a minecart system that collects them all and brings them all back over into here, and then we're just kind of throwing them all into these. You were here last world tour, sir. How did you get back in here? I don't know. He lives there now. And that kind of just leads out to here. There's nothing really on that side quite yet. And then coming around, where do we want to go from here? Let's go. We'll explore this corner up to the bridge to get across, and then we'll hook the rest of the way down there. So we'll get back to where our horse is, do that, and then we'll be able to jump over to New Papyrus after that and kind of complete everything here. So we have a little flower stand right there. We just got a lot more fields out here, a little farmhouse in the fields. And this pathway currently just leads to a farmhouse right there and a bunch more fields out that way. There's not too much to look at. It's just this is where all the fields of every single episode have been placed. So there's a lot of farmland fields throughout here.
Just to celebrate day 7,400. Congrats.
Lulu,
Popper.
thank you so much
Chat,
for the
like
for the
this
dono.
game.
I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In here we have a random covered wagon. I don't know why, but it has a bed in it, so we can use that. Have you thought about making a zoo? Like a traditional like catch every Minecraft mob and put it in a zoo type thing? Not really. I don't really play that style of Minecraft, but I've thought about doing like a realistic zoo. That could be kind of fun. Just somewhere in the city or maybe somewhere else. But anyways, here we have the gatehouse, which we'll be walking through soonish to get across there into custom birch forest and all that and explore those lands some more. But for now, have a glimpse of everything. There's some fields that are growing up over there, and it's looking good. Dark Shadow, thank you so much for the 5 gift memberships, my dude. I really appreciate that. But yeah, we're headed out this way. Let's go find our horse. Where did we leave him? Right back over here. Hey, buddy. Dark Shadow again, thank you so much for the 5 gift members. I really do appreciate that. What about like a circus or jester type place? I really want to make like a traveling circus or a jousting arena. I think like a medieval tournament. I really want to do outside the city. I think that would be super fun to try. I've wanted to do it for years and I never have. Okay, crossing this bridge. This river did not used to exist here. We carved this out and brought it in just because I want more water features throughout the world. I just think they look nice and they add nice ambience when you're walking across them. But we got some custom trees here. We have our brown mushrooms and we have our red mushrooms because we are at our mushroom lumber farm. Yeah, we're counting it as lumber in this world. So we have automatic mushroom growing tree farms. So you just put a little red mushroom there and it'll grow it up. The same goes to brown mushrooms on that side. And then we can go through and flip a little lever and it starts bone mealing like crazy and all of them grow and we can go back and chop them down. To continue on with our mushroom lore, the other thing in Minecraft that loves mushrooms, well, technically in real life, is pigs. Pigs are used for truffle hunting IRL. So over here we have a little bit of a pig pen where we got some piggies hanging out. So if they need to go find unique mushrooms in the area, the pigs can help out with that. Headed off this direction, we got 2 builds to check out. One off that way and one off this way. We'll go this way first because this is the shorter trip. And yes, there's a field here I probably planted like 600 days ago and I'm never loading it, so it hasn't grown yet. Yay. But right here we have the mud brick castle, which is a pretty snazzy. It doesn't really have a whole lot of space inside of it. It's just kind of a little thing in here. But the big cool part of it is horse. You know what? We're just going to free cam it because I don't want to lose my horse and I don't have a fence here. But here is the mud brick castle for a little cinematic shot around the castle here. The cool, unique aspect of it is that we added in this river gate. I was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla at the time, and it was fairly common for, in that game, or at least they mentioned it a few times as a way of protecting waterways, they would have these big ropes or chains going across. So if an attacking boat came through and they tried to go through that, the boat would get destroyed by a chain. So I use that here as kind of a way for these guys to be able to more easily protect the town and everything, that they're controlling who is and isn't able to come into the region. And yes, we have carved this out, as you can see right there, to all the way reach out to the ocean, where we're actually going to be heading right now to find the next build. Tier 1 supporters and up on any platform get access to the world download. Yeah. Pretty sure I saw a fence holding up a lantern. That's okay. We need to remove that little snow patch right there. We'll have to come back and do that soon. I just wish it was faster to get rid of the snow. Like, I wish you could just, like, turn it all into moss. I guess we could just cover it with moss carpets and then remove the edges. Anyways, out here, that goes to, I don't know. Nothing's out that way yet. This goes to Fishing Village. That needs a name. Fishing Village. That is the current name of it. All the way out here. The reason for this village being established is there's a little bit of lore that we actually still have to finish and flesh out a bit better and actually show it in action. But the idea is that this channel that I carved out myself was actually something that was quarried out by people. So I want to make it look a little bit more quarried and terraced and built up in there. That might be a project we come back to do soon. I really would love to have it finished. And then anyways, the reason for the village existing here is because they needed people living nearby to be able to work in the quarry to clear it out as a shipping channel. So this village popped up, and now the village is here, kind of a simple lifestyle, much more chill. They have some goats. Yes, all of the goats are attached to leads so that they don't leap out of here because they will run away as quickly as they can. Like him. Yeah, I know, it's quite sad that they're tethered, but it's the only way I can get them to stick around. As you can see, there are some villagers around here. They're hanging, they're vibing. They got these cool little storage rooms tucked under their homes and everything like that. We got a cool little pond right in here, and we got some llamas and all that stuff. But yeah, so these guys exist here now, and some of them started getting into fishing so that they could, you know, sustain themselves after they lost their job of, they know the quarry got quarried. They don't need to keep breaking stones at it. So now they've kind of turned into a simple fishing village. They've created a system here because they're all very skilled stone workers, of where they have this protected place to keep it against the really rough ocean waves that we have in Minecraft. And we have over here, so they have that bulwark, so where their boats can come in peacefully, get into the water, and then go off. So I'm thinking there'd be like some pulley system to bring them up and down, so I dock them up there. As you can see, we have a little one that is a shipwreck. We got a really cool like coral sandy beach over here, a bunch of tide pools and everything. And then that, we still need to bring this section down a little bit further, but that is how we get all the way out into here. This used to be completely dry. We dug it all the way down, and that leads all the way back to this space where we just were. And I want to do more stuff over here soon, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So yeah, we dug this all the way down here pretty much until it got dark, like where we started not being able to see the bottom, so that I didn't have to texture it too much. It's looking pretty good. But yeah, that's the entire like overview of this build. These boats I'm really happy with. They turned out really, really well. See, I've got my own flag in here. Blocky's got his flag, but we got our flag there too. Yeah, so we just got 2 boats at the dry dock, and then we have a 3rd one down there that's loaded and ready to go, and they got a little dock area for all of their goods and stuff. Very communal village. Like, everybody in here is very much working together. They've all got their little gardens and everything like that, and it's just nice and cozy and small town vibes, and I love it. Like, we got a little workstation right out here for somebody. They always love to be back here. I don't get it. You're just gonna be, that's your life now. I can't help you. I can only help you so much, villager. Where's your lead? There's your lead. Right, on that note, we're gonna head on out of this place. There's another little place in there. There's actually a little storage underneath that looks like I forgot to decorate, but some of those places are filled. We got a little chicken coop right here where we can glitch in and you can see the chickens. Yeah, look at that. Glitching through the blocks. I'm so sorry, goats. You look great. You look fantastic being there, but I'm so sorry. Need to do more in this area. It's your favorite for some reason. I really like it too. I do want to start branching out this way more. I'm just so obsessed with, I have too many projects going on, but I also don't think that's a problem. Like, that's just kind of the way it is in this world. Your world reminds me of the Lord of the Rings world. I'll take that. That's pretty good claim. Sorry, only one hand on keyboard. Can't mouse. He glitched. He's cheating. He's a hacker. Hacker man. Ah, the sniffer farm. Ah, the mushroom farm. Can't wait to see this world in a year. This is already 3 years. Well, almost 3 years. We'll be 3 years in the fall. I feel like I miscounted a while ago, and I was like, we've survived 3 years in this world. And I redid the math on the dates, and I was like, oh my god, I wasn't even 2.5 years when I said that. Like we weren't even close. I kind of felt a little bad. I was like, I gotta stop saying that. I gotta wait until we're actually at 3 years. Imagine the world after 5 years. Yeah, let's hope we survive. Picking up where we left off in the town area, we have the custom birch forest right ahead of us. This was a birch forest before for part of it. Part of it was like a stony shore biome, as you can see by the cold grass colors and everything. And we tore it all out. And when Minecraft no longer said they were going to do a birch forest update, or when they confirmed that they weren't, I decided to do my own. I think if I did this nowadays, I would do this a little differently. I like it, but they kind of feel more like pine trees than birch trees to me, which is okay. I was trying to be unique at the time, and I'm okay with that. I like how it looks. I don't regret what I did, but it's one of those where I think I've learned, and like moving forward, I'd be like, yeah, if I want to do another birch forest again one day, and we're gonna do it differently than we did on these. This is a little like herbalist house. Somebody who just is out here in the nature, living in here, like a wilds. Somebody who lives in the wilds. They're here and just kind of living off the land and everything, and I love it. Can we sleep now? Almost seems more like aspens. Yeah, a little bit. And the unfortunate part is that I filled this entire little pond area here with frogs. Notice how there are no frogs. I don't know where they went, but there's no frogs here. So that's unfortunate, but it's okay. We live and we go on. And here, yeah, we just have some rock outcroppings. We have some other things, just like some area where they felled some trees. And then in here, we have a little hunting cabin right along the path, and like little dog kennels of sorts. So we have our doggos sitting out front, and a little storage area for that, and you know, all that cool stuff. And this is kind of leaving the forest, where we have a little farmhouse set up, a little storage building, and we got some more fields and everything. I do want to do another farmhouse right here, because I think the one farmhouse for these fields doesn't really make sense. So I'm thinking another farmhouse here, and then we convert this area into a field as well. Could be pretty sweet. And this is our first sunflower field, because I could never build these because sunflowers look towards the tree as the sun comes up that direction. So to me, it always felt weird to put one right over there when it would just be looking back up the mountain. When I didn't want to see this. I wanted to see that, you know? So that's kind of the way it goes. Here we have the big old rock where we've kind of done a little... This has been a big terraforming project that we did over here, which I love so very much. All these streams coming down, kind of whimsical, of the waters cascading down. There's some unlimited water source, and then that's coming through here. You can see the beacon buff. We have a beacon extending all the way up through there, where you can also see some end rods in there. Occasionally, you can see little blocks of that, so that even when the beacon isn't rendered and we're too far away, you still get like the line going up. I think is fun. And yeah, this was a custom terraforming project we did. Every January, I pick just something, because January is a weird month to upload videos on YouTube. It's like a good reset month. So the way that I do it is we basically pick a live stream project for January that we just work on in-game the entire time. And that's what this was. It was really, really fun. It was just really nice transforming and terraforming this entire place out, bringing a little bit more of the birch forest on that side to really set the piece. And then we started working on the mountain and everything. So that was how that all went. And it turned out really, really well together. And coming around this side, this little farmhouse, no interior on it or anything, but I did fill out the little storage room. Any exterior spaces like that, I will fill out with detail. If it's behind a door, the chance of me filling it out when it's just something to walk by like that, probably pretty low. Tried making a tree that looked like it got struck by lightning. Not my favorite, but it's a vibe. Sorry, my nose is so itchy. Over here, we have an attempt at a like a hanging weeping willow. Again, not that great. We are now in flower forest village lands. Village and flowers, and lots of flowers. Not much forest anymore, but mostly just flowers. So that is a flower forest biome over there. You can tell because we have tulips everywhere. So I wanted to basically put the village in the middle, and then I did a big circle around the village, and I decided segments where we're going to have all of the different tulip colors, because we have all of the tulip farms over there from the flower forest. So you can see we have reds over there, we have whites here, we have pinks right over there, and over on that side we have the oranges. We'll get to the village in just a moment, but we got to go see where this horsey came from first and foremost. Back to where he was born. Not in here. This is a TNT tree farm for nether trees, because nether trees are a pain in the butt to gather, so we have a TNT tree farm for it. Those and mangrove trees are the only things that I will auto farm. Here we have a little sheep pen. They're hanging out. It also works as a villager pen because there's a few job profession blocks in there, and all the villagers from that city decided they didn't like the job professions they had in their own village, so they all came over here. I know. It's a little annoying. As you can see by the horse, we are entering the horse racetrack, where first up we actually have a mass sheep shearing farm for a single type of wool. So these are all currently light gray sheep because I use it so much for texturing, so they're all in here. But this right here is our horse race, and I love it. All of the horses that have been sent out to pasture are right here, and occasionally they just work their way up Horse Mountain and are slowly climbing to the top. One day I'm sure we'll see one all the way up there, but yeah, they're just kind of living, doing their thing. What we have inside, those are basically slower horses, and I was working towards the fastest possible horse in Minecraft, and as you can see right here, these are all 4.2 meters per second. 14.2 meters per second, which means 14.2 blocks per second when they're at max speed, and that's a lot of blocks. And this one is a 4.3 jump. We have a 4.6 jump. The max jump is 5.2. There's still a baby in there that needs to grow, who we need to test out. And so we're just slowly testing. These are both empty, so we can... Oh. Don't tell me they can glitch over this now, too. Oh, my whole system. Oh, no. What did they do in the new update? The horses can now jump over these things? How are they all in there? I don't know, man. But those are the fastest possible horses you can get in the game. We're working on... I want to max one out completely. So we're going to get the max jumper. And then we're going to do it all for donkeys. So we are going to add a new building here to start breeding donkeys to get the fastest possible donkey. And then once we get that, we're going to breed them together and get the fastest possible mule, so we can get the best of both worlds of max speed, max everything. And then we're also going to go for max storage size on a mule, so we can literally get the best mount in the game. I think it's going to be super fun. But what we have right over here is we have a horse racetrack, because we needed somewhere to test the speed on our horses. So we have a massive horse racetrack that's themed after the San Antonio F1 racetrack. So we have this, it will time it. There's a whole timing system built in there. Those lights turn on. There's fireworks when you finish the race and everything like that. And we've got also the jumping testing area. So you can see, like, if we're at, this is a little, that's like what, 4, and then you use snow layers to get slightly above. So you can see, I think this guy might be a 5 blocker. If I can get it. No, he's not quite a 5 blocker, but that's okay. Then we have like the little sprint racetrack, so you can see that turns on, and then we go all the way down here to the end. I don't know if the system's done, but that'll turn it off so you can test the speed of your horses and everything like that. So we've got some really cool we built this all in when I wanted to get the fastest horse in Minecraft, and it was a fun way of doing it. It was a fun way, instead of just breeding horses endlessly, to also like tie a project to it. You can see the custom terrain all the way over there that we're working on. Eventually that's going to kind of span around this entire place, and it's going to be, if we can survive that long, it's going to be really, really cool. And then we can head back over to the village, which is right here. But I'll tell you what, right before we walk into the village, I have been I've been streaming for 2.5 hours, and your boy's got to pee, so I'll be right back. Enjoy the music. 1 second.
Pleased to meet you.
There we go. Good vibes. Good vibes in the song. Alrighty. Vibing? We still hanging? Okay. The YouTube live stream curse. You get up to go pee, go buy 200 viewers. Okay. Are you planning to create a yellow brick road like the Wizard of Oz? Probably not, no. I don't really want to copy any fairy tales too much. Papyrus, we're getting out towards Papyrus. We're headed there soon. We're almost done with this section, headed towards Papyrus. Don't you worry, we'll get out there. Where do we find the world download? If you're a tier 1 member, join the Discord, get your account linked to Discord, and then you will see the access to the downloads channel. It's also linked in the supporter announcements. You can get that in there. It's for tier 1 members. It's in supporter announcements. I put a link in there. Then Eggs is amazing and has been doing extra backups of extra download links in case the one breaks. And so he has put in a separate download link under the downloads channel where you can click on the Hardcore Season 3 and then scroll to the bottom and you'll be all good. Hydrate or dihydrate. Exactly. Thank you, Blocky. There we go. Okay. We're going to leave our horse. I think you're good. I think this is Mustard. I think we got to name him Mustard. We're going to, I don't need a slime ball. Not right now. Do I have a name tag? I should have name tags. I do have a name tag. We're going to name him. This is Mustard. They've been with us for the entire world tour. They deserve a name now. Don't break the anvil. Thank you. Back into the stack you go, buddy. You can be Mustard. Okay. Well, I'll be back for you in a minute, Mustard. Right. Down this way, we have the village of the Flower Forest area that you can see full of villagers. This was an actual village that we transformed. Redid the layouts and everything. Some interiors exist. Others are places of... Oh, look at all that stuff. All that oak. I want that. But a lot of spaces in here are just places for beds and simple places for a villager to have a profession place and a space to go. There is a bell underneath here, so they love to gather here. We have a chime that anytime it turns to nighttime, the bells will toll. And then we have a little stonemason section here. We have leather workers over here that have their own work yard out on the back. We do have a random shrine of sorts here that's just 3 pillars. I don't really know what the lore is behind it or anything like that, but it's here, and this one's kind of toppled over to the side, so we don't really have any too much like serious lore, but I do add these little random shrines and things like that throughout the world randomly. We got our red tulip fields right over there that we can actually do a quick fly through right now to go check on, because there's nothing out farther this direction. We do have some bees here, which I love, doing the spinny spins. Wow. That's Majestic. Oh, okay, that's fine. No longer Majestic. He said bedtime. Yeah, so we got these fields out here. I do want to send ourselves farther up that way and do more building and everything. That could be our way to connect up to that side of the mud brick castle and everything in there. But yeah, so we can take this just all the way back here. There's a cool bridge right here where I tried using prismarine in the bridge, and I thought it was fun because it kind of changes color throughout the day and everything. We have custom little riverbed areas with some gravel patches. We got our mud, we got our wheat growing, we got our berries and all that. Really, really went with the terraforming heavy vibe in this space, which I love. And then we have our orange tulip fields, which we'll go back through in a minute. So I'm not going to stop at them now because we don't want to revisit things too much. And this is just another villager house building. We got another villager house building in here. Again, it's just beds and composters and stuff for them to work in. Here we have another shrine of a place to worship the world tree, which we can see because the render distance is insane right now. And here they have a sapling of the world tree and the iron golem of the world tree who's hanging out in... Okay. He's here. But yeah, so we have a baby sapling of the world tree that is gathering all the sun and nutrients it can get with the open air in here, but it's still a place where they can come and kind of like, I guess they're worshiping the tree or they're honoring the tree or something. I don't know. That's something we haven't really fleshed out super well, but it's here. The iron golem hot tub, exactly. No punching. You won't like the result of that one. We have a carrot field in here so the villagers can keep repopulating as they need. We've got a little market here in the center of the villager, so we got like a little shepherd. We've got a grindstone. We got a Fletcher. We've got nobody over here, I guess. We've got a library right in there with some lecterns inside. This is supposed to be a butcher, so we have some pigs out back for the butchery. And then we have a forge right in here for a toolsmith to work and make stuff for the village. Another just villager house. Another one. This is, again, I love doing this. I do this in like every build that I make. We have an inn that attached to it, overpass, tower, and then we have the stables. I do that in every single world. I don't know why, but I just love doing it. It's just like a consistent thing that I just think looks good. We do have some torch spam out here to help keep the villagers a little safer, so the mobs spawn farther away, but is what it is. And we started a graveyard because I thought a lot more villagers would die, but there's only been one recorded villager death that I saw happen, so he has a grave right here. Yeah. These little buildings here, these long things, are all flower farms. So inside, this one is all producing red tulips. There are positions specifically where they need to. As you can see in our biome right there, we are in a flower forest. And then you can track where the flower spawns. So if you bone meal the ground and a flower spawns, it'll always spawn that flower. So right over here, we found one marked by the orange terracotta for red, white tulips. No, this is definitely for... that one's definitely for the orange tulips. Then we have the pink tulips in here. And then marked for the white tulips, we have light gray, because they give light gray dye, but there's a white tulip. It's weird. I don't know. Then for now, this just kind of stretches out farther here with more flower fields and everything like that throughout the area. And then up over in this corner was the first flower farm that we actually built out here, because I wanted to get a bunch of alliums and azure bluettes. So this one produces both of it. I haven't hidden it under anything yet, but it still does work, and I do love the farm. So I don't want to turn it on to bleed out your eardrums or anything, but you basically right-click that note block, and it'll start going and producing a bunch of flowers and seeds and everything. Y'all in Java are so unlucky. Dude, I would love the bedrock feature where you bone meal a flower and it creates another flower right next to it. That would be so good. Yeah, that is that whole village. We do have this big water wheel here, which I think is really cool. And let's pick up our horse. And we can head off towards New Papyrus, finally! Only 2.5 hours into stream. Let's go! So through the orange flower fields we go, where there's some custom trees in here, some just vanilla ones that we still need to redo and change out and everything like that. We're gonna head out this way. Gets ourselves on a long trek with some details along the way. Like first up, we have a lovely bridge to cross. Right over in here, we have bridge. Isn't it nice? Again, with the Prismarine vibes. I really tried bringing the cyan tones into that village for some reason. I just thought it would be fun. And that kind of brings us all out to here. We're flying, y'all. We're zooming. Now I'm jealous of Bedrock players. Yeah, I'm telling you, Bedrock players get everything. What the heck? But continuing down this way, random find that we did get across the way is there is a trail ruin right here. That is a naturally spawned trail ruin that we just randomly found as we were building this pathway. So that was kind of fun. But then this takes us all the way up here, just continuing along through the birch forest. What tab in the Discord? It'll be at the top under the important stuffs. Hashtag supporter announcements or downloads. Right over here, we've got a little farm that I built because I was like, there's kind of nothing along the road. So I want to add things along the road. So we got this little farm set up, very simple. They've got some sheepies in there. They've got a little short grain silo, and they've got a wheat field that's kind of still growing in and everything. So that's in here. Something we might come back and revisit later. I do want to do something on top of that mountain. Kind of thinking like an old ruined fortress with like a kind of an overgrown road reaching up to it. I thought could be cool. If you remember the ruined fortress from the Building with fWhip series, I'm kind of thinking similar vibes to that. Here we have a village that we haven't done anything with yet outside of put that front thing up, but it does, if you follow the pathway up here, connects us back into the pathway that we were on. I just left it as path blocks for now and then faded it back into our course dirt. And that leads us out here, which would kind of tie in with that ruined vibe if we did the castle up there. There is a ruined gatehouse right here that is just kind of old, ancient, previously was a wall, and then this is just a way to move throughout. Maybe some bandits are living in this thing or something like that. Also, Smitty, thank you so much for the 6 months. I appreciate that. And Hark the Shark, thank you so much for the 3 months, my dude. Over here, we're leading up to another village. Right over the hill. We've got a village here that was very, very slopey. It was a pain in the butt to figure this one out. I had to do a lot of terraforming to get this road to work properly. And you can go all the way through out here. What I did add for a little view as we see the ocean for the first time is I added a little boat out there. I love that boat. It's a very nice boat. This way we lead into the jungle, cut the sight line right there to kind of show transitioning zones, and then we have the deserts of New Papyrus revealed here in front of us. These deserts were previously a mesa biome. Well, half of them were a mesa biome. I'm currently in the edge of the jungle biome right now with a little bamboo right over there. No pandas, unfortunately. But it does bring us to here, where we have, this is the way to get to the desert. I'm going to leave you here because it's too hot for the horse in the desert. So that's another portal to get back to the Nether hub, everything like that. And then, hello, my buddy. Oh, you're so slow. Oh my gosh, you're so slow. Bro, you're like, I think I could run faster. Oh, and we hit our head. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, we're not doing this. We're not. No, we're just going to fly. He's so slow. He's happy, though. He's a happy boy. But, oh, he's so slow. The ear wiggles. Yee. Okay. That was sprinting. That was him sprinting. That's a slow camel. Here we have turned this entire mesa biome, which kind of enveloped all of this. We got rid of all the red sand. If you remember the dirt storage room that we had, where all that red sand came from, that was from here. I tore it all out. We've terraformed all this. You can see the 1 block deep area was where land used to exist. I still need to come back through and finish all that. And we have turned it into a lush river delta is what we're calling the biome. So we've added in palm trees. We've added all these lush areas with the moss and the grass and the azalea leaves, the mangrove roots, all that super cool stuff to really, really open it up. And then it is going to go back here, eventually continue off in that direction. But we stopped here for now because I'm only partially insane. So I did all of that in one episode. Later on, we came through here. This is the most important farm in the entire hardcore Minecraft world. This is my seed farm. I know. Isn't it amazing? So the way this farm works is you come in here, you flippy that on. I don't know if there's any bone meal in it or not currently. I think I've run it pretty dry. And apparently it's producing polished deep slate. But you can see here that it produced seeds. The way that it works, you can see some... Oh, yeah, you can see some seeds. See some seeds by the seashore. That is reaching all the way up there. And then you will see some falling out there. So they come out the water at the top of the monument. And then the monument has some hoppers, or a single hopper hidden right there that will collect all of the seeds. And then that puts them down in the storage area just for fun. I was trying to go with like hanging gardens type vibe here. And also off of the gas farm that we have back in the first area at that custom mountain, where I like the idea of adding these fantasy monoliths that have looked like they've stood somewhere for years and years, super ancient, beyond any civilization that currently exists. These were built. So this is the one for this region. I thought it was really, really fun. So we got some candles kind of forcing the beam up there. We've got these guys right in there, and it's just cool. It's really had a desert update or a birch forest update. Yeah, deserts could use a little love, but they're still fun. So that's kind of the outskirts of the New Papyrus region. How many days in this world? We just passed 7,400. We're at 7,404 after we sleep this night away. Because I don't want to go do a tour at the nighttime because it'll be hard to see. How far are we from the main area? We are currently at negative 1,800, and the main area, like my starter house, is like 0, like positive 100, 100 or something like that. So we'll come back for our horse. There's the other, like, I call it a desert trading post. As you're entering the desert, this is the place where you can restock supplies as you need to, maybe get some water, some food rations before you start venturing across the desert. Not that it's that far, but we've got a lot of fields out here as well, because if I'm working in the area, the field of the episode goes into this area. So we have what I'm kind of calling saffron fields right here, just with our crimson roots as a little bit. And then I'm making sure that everything that is living has to be next to the water. So we have big sugarcane field, we got all the lushness, and then as soon as you're getting away from the water, that's where all the life is able to survive. So it slowly turns back into our desert and less lush, less alive, and all that stuff. We can take 2 routes here. We'll take the left route first. That heads us all the way out to the coast here, which is very, very cool, just along this road. And we have a melon field just for something different. And we enter into the first village that has been completed in this area. We have a boat yard here where they're building the new Papyrus boats that they use to speed across all of the riverways and everything. We can look at one of those later. I really love the design on them. We've got a little stable area here outside of the village if you need to park your camel or apparently park your horse. How long have you been out here, sir? I don't know. But yeah, so we have camels, we have villagers, we have little tiny houses and everything. I tried really downscaling the size here for just a village. We have a little fountain that if you need to, like, any bathing or things, the villagers can just jump in here. Outdoor seating area. We got just some more buildings and everything throughout. A dockyard here that's connected to the big city that will be. We have a storage building in here that used to hold my sugar monsters. We've gotten rid of that as we've kind of moved out of that section. But here we have the boats. These are what they use to fly up and down the rivers. So you can see they're like this. They're pretty tall, and we do have some bridges to get across. So the masts actually have the ability, like obviously not for real, but lore-wise, to detach and kind of hang along the side. So they can pop it up and down pretty quickly to slide underneath the bridges and everything. So they didn't need to worry about drawbridges. So the boats can just like slip up and down and they can fly. And using, I'm saying, the winds of the ocean being right there, it allows them to fly up and down the river. So they use this mainly for transportation, because then they're not going across the desert or anything. They can go by boat. Speaking of by boat, we have another trade ship. This one is a design I made a while ago. I'm not super happy with it, but it's okay. It's just kind of moving trade goods around. It's kind of more of a barge, like a flatter style boat. And I think it turned out all right. And then this is where like the rowers would sit and the oars would stick out. Kind of like they're symbolized over on this side. Here we have three little row houses. Again, no interiors on these, and I'm loving using the color for decorations here. So we got the hanging signs with little pops of color. We got big tarps up here to kind of offer shade for the area to keep people cooler. A lot of green spaces that they're taking care of. The iron golems are apparently hanging out in here. Do not break the law in this area of don't harm any villagers. The iron golems will be mad. And then here we have, I think this is like a sail shop, like a sailmaker's workshop as well, just for all of the little boats. They obviously need a place to get them and build the sails for them to go up and down. Got a little outdoor cooking area for an oven of sorts. We got another little building in here, another building down there, and then we have a little fish market right back in here where they're selling all different sorts of stuff, which is pretty cool. Okay, yeah, you guys, yeah, do your thing there. Then we have the gates, the entry point into the harbor of Papyrus. We're still kind of digging this out and fleshing out this area some more. We'll check out over on those things some more once we go back around the waterway to get to them legitimately. But that leads out to a big coral reef there. And then we are going to dredge this out to make space for like larger boats like that to be able to dock in here. The smaller ones that are not going directly into the city can kind of come over here into the village. And then the harbor is going to continue along this entire stretch, probably up until that sugarcane field that we have over there. Very much a work in progress region, but I'm really loving it. It's been really, really fun to work on. And back this way, we have the other angle on the road that we did not go to. So we can start up here with a wandering trader. Please sell drip leaf. Drip leaf. Oh, I was so excited. It's not drip leaf. No, dang it. It's fine. Here's one of, honestly, the only bridge that we currently have in the region. Completely covered to keep you out of the sun. And then you can kind of get a good glimpse of the lush area. We haven't done that section, but you can see like all over here with the palm trees and everything. This is a much more finished section down here with a little boat dock. We got all of the lushness and everything throughout, where we'll get up there in just a moment. And these llamas are pulling the little cart, and we have a little cat to keep it more creeper safe. Who's this? Felix. Hi, Felix. No, we won't murder him. We'll just let him go on his way. All right, so there's a little, this was previously a village, as you can see by these houses. I relocated the villagers over this way and over that way, and they kind of went out their own direction. That road will lead into Papyrus, New Papyrus, the city, and this currently leads over to a small little farming village and Camel Death Sanctuary. We'll get into that in just a moment. There's the Camel Death Sanctuary down there. Over in this way, though, we have a big old field, completely fenced off. No way for things to get inside, and also no way for things to get out, which has led to a very, very fun thing of this is actually a functional wall, and he's either died or he got out. I don't know where he is. But he ain't here. This used to be a carrot farm. As you can see, there's a villager sitting right inside there. There was a villager inside of here who would harvest carrots and give it to that villager that would then take it into a storage room, kind of like we have back at home. I want to repeat some of the farms and get them out here too. So all these fields got divided by different things, different like walkways so you can stretch throughout. Then for the way to hydrate them, we have these little windmills down here that are pulling water out of the river, moving it up these channels and into the different fields, just as extra ways to add kind of to that lush vibe. And so you can see all the super lushness down here, and then they're using that to extend farther up. Here we have the potato field still working. Look at him being alive. Yeah, good on you, buddy boy. Oh, I'm so proud of him. And yeah, we got another berry field here. Basically, anytime that I have the villager field, I surround it on both sides with something that the villager wouldn't want to harvest, so that they're actually just going to harvest the stuff around them. And then we have another wheat field right down there. And this is just kind of a really cool, very, very cool little cut out here where it's keeping super lush for everything. And I'm really happy with it. I think it worked out well. But yeah, you probably are right that a zombie spawned somewhere right in here and did a murder. That's a bummer, but is what it is. Maybe we'll put him back. I don't know if there's any extra villagers in the area or not. They could have all died. Here's where we entered in. This is a cute little town. We added another one of those red sandstone obelisks in here just because this is actually the first one. I took the design and then put it over there, a bigger form. But I really love how that is. We have these covered areas, all the different colors and all that stuff, and area for the villagers to sleep and those cool things. And then we've got a little outdoor cooking oven. We got all this. We got a big old windmill inspired by Age of Empires 2. If you ever played that game, a lot of like the Persian and like Middle Eastern civilizations you can play as have these vertical windmills that I thought were really cool. So I decided to steal that idea. And this in here connects down into a storage room, which is where all of, yep, there's the rotten flesh. That's where the villager died. Alrighty. And then we have all of our potatoes coming in there. But that's where all that stuff collects into, and it's a vibe. Another windmill here, and then down this way we just have that farmhouse for the potato villagers to do their thing. And then right over here is the Camel Death Sanctuary with the villager. We have one who's alive. Look at him. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Yeah. So the reason it's called the Camel Death Sanctuary, we've probably been over a few times before. So we have our camels in here. They're safe in there. I thought, you know what? Camels, they need cactus to breed, right? Right. That's how you breed a camel in Minecraft, is a cactus. And so I was like, camels, IRL, eat cactus. So probably camels in Minecraft do not die to cactus. Very, very, very wrong. so incredibly wrong. In fact, do you see how camels will lay down like this? Yeah, I saw the little ears. Do the ear thing again. Do it. Do it. Do it. Yeah, he did it. Thank you. Ah! Anyways, if they lay down, their AI does not tell them to get back up if they start taking damage. So the camels would come over here and lay down, and then they would die because their AI wouldn't tell them to get up and move away from damage source. So we previously had a lot of camels. We no longer have a lot of camels. So those camels are the last 2 surviving camels of the camel sanctuary. So they now stay in here. Yeah, that's the way that goes. Anyways, the camel sanctuary is quite beautiful. I built them a little oasis down here. And they have this lovely, cute little spot to hang out in. All these big rocks work as fences for them to stay down here. They didn't have a way to get out. I tested all of it. And it loops all the way over here. So they have this beautiful place to explore. Even a place for them, for the camel shepherd to come hang out down here and watch all the camels. And nope, they can't use it. But we did instead here was we built a sea pickle farm. Because who doesn't need millions upon millions of sea pickles in a single hour? Yeah. So yeah, we have a crazy sea pickle farm down there that's hidden underneath. That surprisingly, I use it a decent amount. Pretty surprised at how much I use it. So there's that. And then over here, that's kind of the other entrance into the space. And now we can jump over to New Papyrus. It's very good. I love this region. I love this little section here. I can't wait to do more of that throughout the desert. The road currently ends there, but it leads directly into a very, very important building. This is the Blue Axolotl Bazaar, where we have blue axolotls. One of these in here, Booger. That's Booger right there. He was the first blue axolotl we ever got. So he hangs out in here, and he's got his whole family with him and everything. So they're chilling. We'll probably start breeding some more blue axolotls soon, but those are the super, super rare ones. So that was a pain in the butt to get. We're not going to talk about what happened to the other axolotls. They are currently feasting on tropical fish way out there in the ocean. That's what they're doing. Now this place right here is the Grand Library for glass trading. Down there we have a villager breeder. Then I went through and I unlocked a ton of librarian villagers and made sure that they could all trade glass. So we have 48 librarians in here that are all zombie cured and can all trade emeralds for glass. So I can get nearly 100 stacks of glass per day of trading in this place. And we used it all in the end. Every single day in game that I spent trading here, I added a tropical fish. So there's a lot of tropical fish in here. So I spent a lot of days getting all the glass that I needed. But I love it. I think it's so goofy. I love it. The stats prove you didn't. Yeah, actually, axolotl, not even on the list. Haven't done anything. Didn't murder a single axolotl.
Keep it real.
Just saying. Over here, we have nice little seating areas, like big pillars and like walls of books, and then nice little seating areas with just like a cool design in the floor. And I love the tuff and the diorite. Oh, it looks so good. I was so happy when I came up with that and decided to use it. I'm really, really happy with it. It gives it the grand feel for sure. And so we've got that similar one over here, just a little different setup on the furniture and everything. You use TNT? TNT would count as me killing him. If you kill something with TNT, it counts as a player killing it. So, I didn't do anything. You have no proof. Over here is a village that we have been building on top of. So the villagers are slowly being rehomed into different spots throughout. But we do have this big old boat. I don't think, well, one, I didn't even install a boardwalk to get up to it. So I definitely did not do an interior. But this was the first big boat that I ever designed that I was proud of. I love this thing. I thought I did a fantastic job with it. But yeah, inside's empty. The top is a little decoration too. It's not amazing. Like, we could definitely do this better. It's definitely more on the cartoony, comical-y side than anything, but I'm really happy with it. I thought it turned out really, really cool. For a boat, for me, I really don't like building. I like building boats. I struggle with building boats. So this is the first boat that I made that I actually really, really enjoyed. So it was fun to work on. Took a lot of tips from Blocky on that one and slowly built out something I liked. But yeah, that is everything in the new Papyrus region. That's the mangrove swamp where I harvest all my mud. And that is everything out here, which means we have done everything in the overworld. Now we have the Nether in the end, and we're 3 hours into stream. Look at us go. Woohoo. Okay, we're going to leave the horse here because we're just going to go into the Nether. We're going to go in the end, and then we'll come back and get him back to the other side of the world. Let's go to the Nether. Where the Nether is mostly technical. The Nether in here is... Oh, no, we completely missed something. Oh, my gosh. We'll go back. We'll go through there. Before we do the Nether, we have something important to do this way. Wait, I just joined to redo it all? Got you, fam. Let's restart right now. We have to jump out here first. Very important that we jump out here. The other thing I've done in the overworld that I somehow forgot about is this is my Guardian farm. So we have completely drained an ocean monument, twice the size that you actually need to drain. The actual circle down there is the original ocean monument. And then no, actually I think it's a little bit larger. But yeah, we're kind of building like an Atlantis style thing in here. So this is a Guardian farm. I love the look of it. I think it's so cool. I would love to come back out here and build some more, but I just keep finding other projects to do instead. This Guardian farm kind of sucks, but it does drop everything down into here, so I can craft away as I need to. I really need to turn this into a storage room. That's the thing, is it just needs a storage room. That's the real issue. Yeah, so this is the last thing in the overworld. It's just a giant ocean monument transformation. How could you forget? I know, I love this thing. I completely forgot. But the AFK point we made for the Guardian farm is actually just sitting right in here. Like, this is the height for the AFK point, so you just chill in there. The only thing I don't like about it is that Guardian farms are uneven, so the top of this had to be 2 blocks, and I'm not a big fan of that, but it is what it is. Doesn't want to talk about the axolotls, but what about that one cat? I thought there was an advancement for killing one of everything, and then I realized that that's not an advancement. So we did not proceed killing everything. Yeah, that's that thing.
Pleased to meet you.
Now for the Nether. Let us land on top of the gas farm. So this has turned into a lot of farms in this area. We're gonna quickly repair the wings before we do anything in the end, because I don't want to be flying with low durability wings out there. Below me, giant gas farm. We have that. That is the output of the copper farm. It's not anything beautiful to look at. It's just a giant overworld copper farm covering a river. There we have a honey bottle farm for the bees. That, I don't know where that leads. That leads to the end. This is a hole through the bedrock ceiling. This is my Nether hub. I love it. We'll check that out more in a moment. Down there, giant gold farm. Great gold farm. Recently, we'll check that out. I did auto crafters down there. It's pretty disgusting, but it works. We have piglin bartering station right here for all those things. We have a hoglin farm right over there. We have Froglight farm right there, and a magma cube farm right there. And then that one is to get to the cartographer village, and that is a mushroom island, I believe. And all of these AFK points at the top, like standing in those and whatnot, are the perfect places to AFK to activate the farms and get them to do things. So they are all their different spatch. Why not auto crafting? I'm starting to get into auto crafters. This whole last episode was me building auto crafters at all the different farms. But this here for the gold farm leads over to here, where we have auto crafted and made an absolute mess out of this place. So all the zombie piglins fall out of there. They die on these things because unfortunately we're not aggroing them. They're only dropping gold nuggets and rotten flesh, as you can see in this. And all of that is cycling through here. That is counting here in these hoppers, which is taking the gold nuggets down. That is auto crafting them from here into gold ingots. And then that is waiting for the gold ingots to come through and turning them into blocks of gold. And then we have all these extra storage chests in here for all of the rotten flesh and everything that stores. And then anything when it completely fills up, so either that's full of blocks of gold, and then or the rotten flesh is full, then it'll all just go into these fires, so that we're not getting any backup in the storage areas. So I turned this into 4 disgusting corners to help keep up with the items being produced, because it's so many items being produced that I did the math and 2 was not enough. It's incredibly ugly, but it works. So is what it is. Steadifier, thank you so much for the 10 months. I really do appreciate that. Ah, gold. Yeah, we'll leave that. Piglin Bartering Farm is very basic. It's just the farm. I haven't added anything else to it, anything out of the norm, so I don't want to stop at it too much because it's not my design. I can't remember who made it, but it is somebody else's design. Down here through the Nether, though. Well, actually, here's the Nether hub. We can look at this first. This was my first original Piglin Bartering Farm. So we have the piglins in there. They're now statues in the garden. I would drop gold in the top, press the button, and they would go. And then I would do that on every single one of them, going all the way around the loop. It was very cumbersome. Very, very, very annoying to do. So we rebuilt that instead because it is a billion times better. So that's that. The Hoglin farm over there is where I get all my pork chops to eat. It auto cooks them and everything. It's great. And we get all of the leather out of it. So that is even better. Down here, however, we have the Wither Skeleton farm. Woohoo. We have an entire Nether perimeter because I wanted to make a Wither Skeleton farm. So I did the Nether perimeter version of a Wither Skeleton farm. And here we are. The Wither Skeletons just come down here. I can either kill them myself or the dogs will kill them. And it's pretty great. And we just get some nice little repairing on our tools. That's probably, honestly, yeah, that's enough to keep us going. We have it auto-crafting for bones and coal, bone blocks, coal blocks, and wither skeletons. And then the swords are now just going into the lava, finally. I did spend a little time tearing that back there, so I don't think ghast are going to spawn there anymore. And I'm slowly working on opening this face up even more. You can see I'm doing some new digging right there. But yeah, the Wither Skeleton farm is pretty nuts. That took 200 hours to dig out and get rid of all the lava and everything. Like it was so much, so much. But yeah, that's pretty much everything we have in the Nether so far. I know, just baby stuff. But yeah, so we have these ice boat roads that lead all the way out, and this can take us here to the end. Well, it takes us to the stronghold, which we haven't done anything with, which will then take us to the end. Yeah, the end. Can't you tell you're on the main end island right now? This is the end island, so you can see all of the portals around it. We removed all the obsidian pillars. We got rid of the bedrock at the top of them. We completely removed all of the endstone underneath and turned it into a magical floating tree in the middle of the void, which now, as of recently, has a giant storm of glass underneath it, which I love so very much. It's really, I think it's really cool. It's definitely a little artificial looking on the ripples, but it was the best I could do at the time, so I'm happy with it. Inside here we have the exit point, so we can this is where we can spawn withers and kill them and then get trapped in the bedrock, so it's super easy. Sorry bedrock players that you can't do that. Over there we have a skulk farm. Over that way we have an enderman experience farm, and that is pretty much everything we have out in the end. Those are all end rods up there in the tree. That was about 30,000 end rods to make that tree canopy. It was a lot. It was a lot. Out here, I built some custom rocks in the new update that we did to it that spell out fWhip using the Minecraft enchanting language. So it's just kind of cool runestone symbols on these floating rocks that they just spell out fWhip for no real reason. The Ender Dragon egg is currently still here, but I don't know what to do with it. I want to move it. I want to do something else with it. I think it might be when we redo the stronghold, we'll finally get it out of here. But it's currently sitting there. And we're currently back at world spawn. Do I have a bed in here? I thought I had put one, like an emergency bed. I had not. Wow, I thought I definitely put one in here. What was the farm that is not the Enderman farm? It's a skulk farm. It's basically using an Enderman farm to create a ton of skulk, because the Endermen fall down, they die, you kill them, and then they fall and die, and they're aggroed on you or something like that, so they create experience, and then the experience gets turned into a skulk. Yeah, that's the entire farm. That's the entire world. That's everything. That was took us 16 days in game, with the 16th one ending right now, in order to tour around everything in this world. We've survived almost 3 years in here, and we're at 3 hours to tour around the world. That's nuts, and I'm sure I missed a lot of it, but that is everything in this world. And now I'm realizing there is something that I definitely missed as I'm flying back down to go to the new Papyrus. In here, this cave. This is my Nether portal for my starter base. This is how we get into the Nether from my starter house. This is how I get to the Nether hub. Kind of forgot to share this one. So we have a giant Nether portal in a cave. And that plops you out right here in front of the gas farm. Yep, that's it. That's everything in the world. Yep, we'll see how much we have to add in next time. Oh my gosh, that was so much longer than I thought it would be to actually tour around. That was a lot longer than I was expecting it to take to tour around the world. Did you show the dwarf village? Yeah, we did at the start. This whole video, oh, this is not where I want to go. This whole video will be available on VODs on the main channel, so y'all can check it out if you miss anything, or if you're just watching on YouTube right now, you can always rewind and check some things. But yeah, that was we did the cartographer village, we got that one. The only thing we didn't really show was the overworld part of the copper farm, which is not that impressive. We got to get Mustard back home, though. Yeah. Flickaroo, we'll go again. We'll go again. Don't worry, we got you. Very inspirational, awesome tour. Love looking at your build style throughout. Keep it up, man. Hey, Femi, I appreciate it. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed. Any projects that you haven't built that you really want to? I have a whole list of projects that I'm really wanting to get to and do. I really want to do like a Grecian island, like an archipelago of islands with little villages and towns on each different island. I think could be really fun. But we need to... I guess we never really talked about the world tree in the tour. We can go back and look at that right now. We got to make our way back home. We got a while. You play this world next 6 years if we survive. I'm gonna keep going in this world as long as we're alive. I'm gonna keep playing. This is a hardcore world, and we only have one totem pop the entire time so far. When we get back, we look at the world tree a little bit more. I mean, we kind of caught it in the background of clips the entire time, so. I like fWhip's vids because he always finishes something, but he doesn't finish the main thing. I mean, that's the Let's Play style. I don't like that YouTube idea where every project you start has to be finished in every single video you do, and you always have to do something net new. Like, no, like I want people to be along the journey with me. I want there to be time for y'all to offer suggestions, me to read the comments and go through those and pick some ideas that y'all present, and then we can make something really special out of it. I know there's a lot of people that will, like, the video they produce in their hardcore worlds is always a very unique thing. They're basically starting from nothing. They're gathering all their materials from nothing. They're not even showing any farms that they previously used or built or anything like that. They're always starting super fresh, and it's like, nah, I don't want to do that style. That's too much. I would rather do something where we're consistently building up a world and kind of seeing the progress growth, and not really just one-off videos all on the same world. Look up the history of Santorini. It's a Greek island. Yeah. Haven't been myself, but I have heard of it. Come on, horsey. Oh, sorry, villager. We're going. Could be a cool concept to tie into this island chain. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about the history of it, but I do know of the island. But despite you going around on the Elytra a lot, the world looks so good from horse. Yeah, I'm building the world from the ground. If it looks good from above, that's cool too, but the entire world purpose is to build it from ground level. I'm hoping Minecraft adds better ways to be able to transport on the ground. So that, I don't want the Elytra to be nerfed. Like if they nerf the Elytra and make it just not as good as a horse, I would be very sad. But like I very much want them to add ways for ground transportation to be more worth it, and I will happily, if it's better to travel on the ground than it is by Elytra, I would do that. I just don't want Elytras to be any worse. But yeah, who knows if that'll happen. I think that's a much more complicated one than just make horses faster or make mules carry more stuff or whatever. If you're gonna make pumpkin fields, we got one or two in the world, but yeah, I don't have too many. I tend to not build melon and pumpkin fields too much because I don't like the blockiness that they create. Yeah, if they just redid trees so you could always ride a horse underneath a oak forest or something, that alone would make them so much better. Because right now to basically ride a horse, you already have to have been from point A to point B. Otherwise, you're just going to be bashing your head the entire time, and it's not that fun. What were we going to look at when we got back out here? Wasn't there something? I don't remember. Oh, we never looked at the airship. That's true. Yeah, we've got the world tree here is, I love it. It's turned out so cool. I'm really happy with how this build has come together. We've definitely added a lot with the new canopy rework we did, where we added, now they're near 100,000 leaves to it or something like that. Or no, 70,000 leaves or something is on there. Up here we have the Star Trader villager. He's chilling in his house. Yeah, he's still alive. Look at him. This is Captain Flint. Hey, buddy. How we doing? Yeah, he's loyal. He's loyal. Hey, buddy. I know. You're like, oh my god, a person. Ah. Yeah, I think the world tree, we could still do another rendition of it, because the world max height, I think, is a few blocks above this. Because this is at 300, and you can go a few blocks higher. So we have some more space to bring the canopy up, and I thought we could, I don't want to like fully round it out and turn it to look like a mushroom top or something, but I think adding a little bit more lift to it could be cool, and covering up a lot of the, I've never liked that you can see the branches in here. Like, we need to have some branches that are going to come up and cover that. Like this, we just need to have like some branches and leaves in there, and I think that would be perfect. Yeah, city's growing. It's all growing. It's all getting there. It's looking good. You do an SOS again? Like the series? Well, think about it. Depends on what the whole crew wants to do. Yeah, there's the city coming together. There's a few spoilers on screen right now, but that's all good. Just for a quick run through for people who are curious, here's a scroll on the stats. We have flown 1,423 kilometers. No, that's not Elytra. 18,468 kilometers. I was like, there's no way we've flown the same that we sprinted. Like, that's definitely not true. I've walked almost 3 times as much as I sprinted, so apparently I like to go slow. I've logged out of this world 3,584 times. Seems kind of low. Bro, we're almost at 1 million jumps. We passed 150,000 shulker boxes opened. I've been sneaking. I've been holding the shift key for 10 days. 240 hours of sneaking. 63.23 days of playtime. So we have 7,400 days, and 6,200 of them I've slept to skip the night. And some of those are like as the sun's coming up, I'm crawling into bed without realizing it. So we have well over 1,000 days in this world where we've like existed throughout the night. I feel like for me, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. We're at almost 1.3 million blocks mined with the pickaxe. We are at almost 1 million blocks mined with the shovel. And then it's much lower from there. The hoe is 260,000. The axe is only 223. We placed 256,000 dirt. That's nuts. 80,000 light blue stained glass. Azalea leaves are at 71,000 because the world tree. We've used 54,500 rockets. Is it possible for you to die? I popped 1 totem so far. That's all. 30,000 orange stained glass. All that scaffolding is from the drowned farm. 22,000 obsidian used. That's building the walls underneath the weather perimeter. 45,900 obsidian mine. That's all from tearing out the end. Never cleaned a shulker. If I die at once, I just leave it. 18,000 torches. 348,000 netherrack mined. What's our... Yeah, 516,000 stone. There we go. That's a... Dropped. Rod and flesh. Figured. 130,000 rod and flesh. Raw cod. That's from the... Guardian farm. Ender pearls from Enderman farm. Netherrack. I just didn't want to keep it, apparently. 9,000 seeds? I've dropped 9,000 seeds? Oh, dude, regrets. 2 stone swords. Oh, that's so good. That number's probably not going to move up very quickly anymore. That's so funny this is on here. Gas portal farm. Yeah, that's okay that we missed that one, though. If you've already said the answer before, when will the new episode of Skyblock Hardcore? I'm not doing that series currently. I've ended that one for now, and I don't really have plans to continue it. If we were to get back to Skyblock, I'm going to start a new Skyblock series. I just don't want to restart a series that's over a year old at this point. Yeah, that rod and flesh is all from the auto crafters for sure, or from the gold farm. Alrighty, my friends. I've been talking for 3 hours straight, and I don't think I want to talk anymore for a little while. I was thinking about doing a little work after stream, but I'll be honest, I'm pretty hungry. So, with that, thank you all so much for joining. I'm ready to catch myself slouched down in my chair over here. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you did enjoy this massive world tour. Thank you all so much for the support over the series and everything, for everybody who hung out throughout the entire tour, all that cool stuff. We will be live tomorrow. Tomorrow is MCC, the Ender Cup. I'll be live 4 hours earlier from now. So 20 hours from now, we will be live playing an MCC live right here, YouTube and Twitch. We're going to be rocking. So if you want to come and hang out, please, please, please do. I would absolutely love it. The more people we can get in here, the better. It's going to be super cool. It's the first official Minecraft sponsored MCC for the 15th anniversary. So it's going to be a very special MCC. It's going to have a very cool like throwback to everything else going on. So if you enjoy MCCs, this is all going to be new stuff. So thank you all so much for being here. So when do the patron things? So when you do the patron thing, you have to pay to get the download. Yes, anything that I provide, texture packs and world downloads, that is all for paid supporters. I don't give anything out for free because unfortunately people in the past took advantage of that. So I don't provide any free downloads or anything anymore. Everything is tier 1 or above gets access to the downloads, so it's only $5. But Yeah, I've had too many people steal stuff from me, and too many people have reposted my stuff without my permission, and I don't want to deal with that anymore. But yeah, so if you'd like to get access to it, it's all through the paid supporter ranks. If you want to tour everything that we just did here on stream, if you want to go get it for yourself and look around for the world for yourself, please consider becoming a supporter. Yeah, that's going to do it for here today. Thank you so much, my friends. I really do appreciate it. I'm out of here for now, so catch you all on the flip side. Goodbye.